We got some taglines to heist. Do you heist taglines? I don't
No.
We're stealing them?
Nope. The ultimate storm for the perfect heist.
Kind of weak. Very much like, they are performing a heist in some bad weather.
Mostly inside, though.
Yeah.
The storm of the century, the heist of a lifetime.
I'll actually
They
give
just-
that like a 6
yeah.
out of 10. That was actually okay.
But, I mean, we've seen other heists from the producers of this movie that are better than this. Fast 5 is a better heist. That's the heist of a lifetime, if you've seen Fast 5.
Wait, is that the one when Vin Diesel actually is flying almost and hits a tank and doesn't die?
No,
No, that's just the ride.
no, Fast 5 is the one where they take 2 Dodge Chargers and clamp them to a safe and drag that safe down
they're in
Reno.
Brazil. They're in Brazil.
Fast 5 is the one with the cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, does someone's tire blow out in that one?
No.
It's like the axles are made out of what?
I'm
titanium?
thinking of the other one.
I don't think tires ever blow out in Fast 5 or Fast movies.
Is that the one where... Never mind.
No, let's keep going.
Oh, you were going to do it?
No! No!
Last one. On March 9th, Make It Rain.
I make it rain.
Because
That's a rap
strippers
song,
are coming.
right?
I'll up on these hoes.
I mean, I'm rather sensitive with California's drought here. I mean, we do
Yeah.
need the rain.
All I do is win. What? With a budget of $45 million, an opening weekend gross of $3 million, and a USA total of $6 million.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Damn.
With 1 water tower rolling over a man, 3 explosions, 5 deaths by gunshot, 1 hubcap to the chest, 4 people swept away by a hurricane, 1 crushing by semi falling on itself, 12 deaths in total, with a 5 on IMDb, a 35 Metacritic score, and a 44% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's 2018's The Hurricane Heist. Let's drop some bombs.
Would you dance with me? I'd rather be boiled alive. Who is it?
I'm a horny stud. Open up and let me in. I want to rape you until you split in 2.
I hate old money. It's greasy, it smells. It's been up 1,000 noses and buried in too many G-strings.
Do you love me? Then why do you defy me?
Because I can.
I want to show you her ass!
Hurry back. Be sure to bring your death certificate. If you decide to join us, make your final arrangements now. We've been dying to have you.
Welcome to Bombs Away, the only podcast recorded inside a projection booth. My name is Jonathan Young. Joining me inside the studio, as always, is...
The brown eye of the storm. Jarrett Seifert. I just thought of that too. I was like looking down and I just started to have to hold my mouth like, don't do it.
Hold it in. And joining us also in the studio to his left.
Stormy Daniels. No, I'm sorry, Vicente Morales. How's it doing?
And to his left.
Tyler Rowe. Still couldn't think of one.
I'm proud of myself.
That's really good.
Oh,
It's
yes.
very calm there, but some days.
Not for long.
Yeah.
I was
40
like,
miles wide too.
is there another porn star, like something Rain? Like
Dallas Raines is the weather
Taylor
channel
Rain?
man.
That is not his real Dallas Raines.
But he on the news, he is Dallas Raines.
Yeah, that's his
Yeah.
actual name.
So did
Yeah.
he have no other choice but to become a meteorologist with that name? He's like, I gotta
Yeah.
do it.
Probably.
I
Yeah.
gotta do it.
Yeah.
I gotta do it.
But also, like, what a fun, like, I'm Dallas Raines.
Meow!
Yeehaw! If you look over here, There's a warm front coming through.
There's a storm in my boot of the state.
And if you'll see over here, I'm wearing green chaps today, so that's what you know what this means. You can see through my pants. Yes, we're talking about 2018's Hurricane Heist.
2018, so long ago.
I know. It was like
This was like, we were talking about it before, like this is so recent that even whenever I was like, oh, it's on Netflix, everyone was like, how? It was just in theaters
most
yesterday.
recent movie from
To date.
that was released to the point where we're actually doing it on the show.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like not even the
Current events.
Yeah.
Like the currents that are warm and cold and making hurricanes, right?
Yeah, global warming's real.
Yeah, and the tropics and all that. I feel like it was so fast.
An inconvenient movie.
They do drop a line about that.
They do.
I do. But it's like I feel like the posters were probably still in the ads at the mall by the time they put it on Netflix.
Like-
They even forgot to take them out. They're
The
like,
posters are still downstairs in the Frida, and nobody's taking them.
Yeah.
Did you guys
Please
have,
take the posters.
Did you guys have that mall near you that was just specifically only used for seasonal stores and a movie theater?
The mall that I had was like seasonal stores, did not have a movie theater, and like they didn't even turn the lights on half of it because it was just so dead.
We had
Yeah,
one
it
that
was-
was
it was a-
specifically just a movie theater and seasonal stores and like a Skechers.
No,
and then
yeah.
they had an arcade. So that was
And a
this arcade was
KB toy.
bumping.
Yeah.
I had one that it felt like once it was an IKEA built next to it, it just like it was like a tumor and it just
The
killed it.
IKEA
It just
sucked the life
it just
out of
sucked
it.
the life out of it. That a lot of the stores turned into two
Those
things.
goddamn
Either like
Swedes.
Hey, I
turned-
love an IKEA.
it turned them into
Del
either like
Dolly.
multi-purpose rooms for a lot of like they're trying to sell you something like you too can be a millionaire with this business plan, and the other one was like those weird you can buy a medieval sword or javelin
Oh,
Oh, those are the
those-
best.
or
like the nerd stores where
Yeah.
there's like dragon statues.
And you walk in there and you can just smell the non-showering going on in there. You can hear the neck beard.
no
You
it's
can
like
feel fedoras.
feel like they come up to you and it's like, is there anything I can help you with? Is there anything I can help you
Yeah.
with?
And if you'll see to the right, sir, every katana comes with its own soap block for you to chop up.
Just by setting foot in that store, it's like breaking a mirror. You're single for another 20 years.
So you've
Damn it! I just
I
went in
walked.
one.
I know. I've walked in a lot of those stores.
you've accepted what comes with the store, so I'm sorry.
Well, over here we have a katana from Kill Bill, and over there we have Elvis and all the celebrities around a bar with a light up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
did
as
you
the-
go to the mall in Riverside? Because that's what that one's
They're
like too.
all the same,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, it's like they always have this fantasy poster where it's like Bogart, Marilyn, Elvis, and James Dino hanging out
Yeah,
in the bar.
and why is Elvis the one serving the rest of them?
And they all have like.
And like the crazy part is like James Dean is always just half a body in the
Yeah,
picture.
he had no legs.
Well, the
I got
car
no
crash
legs.
really.
I walked into one of those stores and
Sorry, James Dean. I do get a boner from him.
Carly got like Thanos snapped and just started like she was like I don't feel very good, Tyler, and just disappeared behind me. It was really weird.
I also love that all those stores are specifically named like something stupid, like movies. Oh my!
Oh, they're awful.
Just like this movie.
I'm gonna buy a sword.
Well, it's
I'm
just
surprised there wasn't a sword in this one.
want
no, just like Jared said, it's just like this movie. The store is a bunch of cheap thrills, but you don't really want anything to do with it
Yeah,
once
like
you leave.
it's fun to walk in and look at, but you don't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
No.
Right?
Like you want to pick a
And you
sword
just end
up.
up pissing in
Yeah.
the parking lot anyway.
Oh, I forgot about this. God,
Those poor maintenance guys, man.
that mall got fucked up.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so here we are, Hurricane Heist,
So-
2018.
Going from taglines that should have been like the amount of times that they say this in the movie, the tagline should have just been "Get ready," because they say
Yeah.
it constantly.
Yeah.
and every single time you're like, he says "Get ready," you're like, "Oh shit, it's gonna go down," and then you're like, "That was it. Get ready for." All right.
It's like,
Like,
have you
every
ever
single
hooked up
time.
with someone that's like, yeah, you like that? And it's like, I don't want to say no. 'Cause I really don't. It's like, get ready. I'm like, for what?
I mean, we know what's happening,
Yeah, you
right?
feel that? Not really.
For the heist.
Yeah.
oh, you like my power? And I'm like, did you give it?
Well,
Did you turn your power
like
off?
speaking of power, like think about the trailer. Like it is one thing, and then this movie is something completely
The trailer
different.
makes it look like they're going to be running from the storm and making pit stops and like chasing each other, but no, the whole movie is, hey, I got to go into town to pick up some milk. I'll be back to the dollar destroying factory in a few minutes.
This movie's straight up just like heist with a hurricane occasionally. It's raining a little bit.
Heist with inclement weather.
Okay, so this
no
is
way. He made one of the Mummy movies.
Yes,
Rob Cohen.
so
But
Rob
hold
Cohen.
on, it's the Mummy Shanghai or whatever it's called.
Tomb
China
of the Dragon Emperor.
Dragon Emperor, yeah, you're right.
So
The
the
third
one we
one.
didn't even see.
And it's
Yeah.
funny.
It's
we
not
didn't,
the third one. It's the fourth one.
And he
Scorpion King's the third one in my book.
But okay, so this is Rob Cohen who directed this, and on the poster it says from the director of The Fast and the Furious. So the first one is what it is,
I
right?
thought it was like the
Yeah,
fifth
this
one.
is not the first.
No,
Fast and
it's the
Oh, it
Fast
is
and the
fir-
Furious,
and
the first
Triple
one.
X.
Yep.
and the Skulls.
Stealth. We mentioned Stealth.
So we mentioned Stealth. There it is.
The Boy Next Door.
Yeah, the
Sounds so
Skulls
gentle.
from back
Isn't
in the
that-
day.
Isn't The Boy Next Door the movie where like J-Lo just like fucks that minor?
Yes. We'll do it.
So it's like a mining town?
yeah. He's like, hi.
Oh yeah, it's My Bloody Valentine.
It's my yeah.
Yes, he also did Dragonheart from with Sean Connery's the voice of the dragon.
God.
Yeah,
I saw that at the drive-in.
right.
I'm a dragon.
Roar. Watch out for me.
Like tits now.
So
Randy Quaid was in this one too.
yes,
No,
he
Dennis,
was.
Dennis,
It
Dennis,
is
Dennis.
Dennis. If it was
Just-
Randy, that's a way
No,
different movie.
no, but I mean, it's like one of those.
I'm back.
Shitter's full.
Paul Clark, that's my.
Hey, Your Highness, shitter's full.
We're gonna get some damn bait.
Metal plate in my head. Can't feel a thing.
That was just me and Tyler chuckling because we've never seen that movie.
Wait, you've never seen Christmas Vacation?
I've seen Christmas Vacation.
Oh, I haven't.
Vegas
Jesus,
Vacation?
what?
No.
I've never seen Vegas
No,
Vacation
I've
because I
seen
value my
Christmas
time.
Vacation,
Oh,
but I
I'm
never, like,
sorry.
paid attention to it.
Christmas Vacation's great, dude.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, we did that thing where we both look at each other and then look at Vicente and Jonathan and like, ha 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 ha.
They were quoting other movies too. That I
That's
was
how
like,
I felt about all your Black Mirror references. I don't know what's going on.
All I did was quote the original Vacation.
oh, that's right. Yeah, where they go and get
metal plate in my
Yeah.
head. Yep. So that's his library of movies. So like he's not far off the page of ridiculous or bad or over the top films, but the fact that the poster itself is praising from the director of Fast and the Furious, you're like, okay, so it should be over the top, it should be creative, and to me, it should be based around the fact that that there is a heist and they're using the storm for the heist,
Yeah.
and they just don't. Like, it's just convenient that it almost seems like they were like, yeah, we planned a heist, and then the storm happened.
Yeah.
Well, it's also the funny thing about the movie poster, too, is that it's literally the last 5 minutes of the film.
Yeah, right?
That the movie poster shows you. And the last 5 minutes of the film are also like 20 to like 35% of the trailer.
And that
Mad Max Hurricane Road.
Yeah.
What I kept thinking the entire time.
At least in that movie, you were inside, and they were just like still trying to survive through it. But I just felt like Rob Cohen like started hanging around with Ronald Emmerich. You know, he's all like, "Oh, you know, I'm gonna do 2014, and I'm an Independence Day. You know, the natural disasters
also awful.
Yeah, but at least in those movies, they were an quote unquote antagonists. Like, we're trying to survive this warming continental shift, whatever the aliens. This was like, yeah, I'm in the background.
Aliens are my favorite natural disaster.
I'm in the background. I'm a storm. Maybe I'll show up
in
you know?
Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Gulfport.
okay,
Is
so
that a real place? I don't even know.
Gulfport?
Yeah.
Yes, but it is not Gulfport, Alabama. Gulfport is in Mississippi, and I don't know why they got that so wrong. It's just like, look at a map.
Well, they just didn't want to like steal a whole city's reputation. I don't know.
Gulfport
I'm
has a
just-
reputation
yeah.
that needs to uphold.
Yeah.
We'd never let a hurricane happen there.
It's not allowed.
It is slanderous.
Our sheriffs would tell us if they were going to rob the place.
Yeah.
The South.
So
Here we go. We start off real strong in this movie where it's like, we're driving away from a hurricane. And I was like, no.
Oh, yeah.
I felt
The
like I was
terrible
watching
accents.
Twister again.
Yes,
the accents are. We'll talk
I felt
about
like
it.
I was watching Con Air.
But here's the thing: is that like
R.I.P. Bill
I
Paxton.
knew right off the bat that our main character, the older version of our main character, was English because of how bad his Southern accent
All of our
was.
main characters, only one of them, the lady from Lost, Maggie Grace, she's the only like American in this film, basically.
Their accents are straight up like the cadence is serious. They could have just been like, "I'm gonna go home and fuck my sister,"
Yeah.
because that's how bad it is.
And then they did.
Just within this movie, you have 2 Brits and an Australian playing, and the main protagonist and an antagonist.
Which should always be a red flag for most people, because that means that they couldn't afford anybody that was worth it, right?
Yeah.
And was just like, these are the best we have
very-
from overseas.
It was so bad that even Americans wouldn't want to play
I
Americans
also
in
love
this
that
movie.
majority of this was just filmed in Bulgaria.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah. It was all filmed like out of the country.
Oh, that's how you make a super cheap movie,
Yeah.
though, out in Bulgaria. Wow.
It's like a weird filming
You're just a
thing.
Bulgarist now. You just-
Blade 2. Blade
Yeah.
2, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of movies
Blade
do
2,
it. They
Del
send it out to
That's
like
the
Russia.
best.
And
They
That's
give
the
you
best
huge
Blade.
tax
Yeah, Del
cuts
Toro's always
for
there.
filming there.
okay.
Yeah, in our first scene, it's like a dad and 2 little sons, like, and the kids are like, "You're stupid. You went back for that kite, and now we're gonna die in a storm." And the other brother's like, "Don't call me stupid.
He goes-
I love my kite."
I'm going to
Let's
punch you in the
go.
mouth.
Yeah, it's like Talladega Nights. It's just like,
he says he doesn't even say mouth. He says mouth. I'm going to punch you in the mouth.
And then
I'm
the
all
dad-
jacked up on Mountain Dew, Chip.
Go ape shit on you right now.
And so the brother punches the little brother in the arm because he's still pissed at him. And dad's like, "Hey, stop it! Practice your football plays."
Yeah, practice your
Which
football
I was
plays.
like, "Are you trying to beat me over the head that you're in the South? Because we know you're in the South.
Yeah.
You don't have to try and prove anything to me. I can tell."
I'm just most concerned about these kids' future prospects. If they're not like, oh, do your homework or do your arithmetic or whatever. It's like, no, your future is football.
Yeah,
this
because-
is what
yeah,
you're
this
going
is
to
the
do.
South.
Because
the
Coach
South.
John Voight
It's-
is going to be
yeah.
very upset with you if you don't know your football.
Yeah.
What
drill.
is it, 5 minutes for 10 years? What was his motto or something like that?
And it's Varsity Blues, sir.
It's the South. It's what you do.
Right?
Yeah.
And then
Billy Bob, get back in there. I don't give a goddamn about your concussion.
You caught me, my quarterback. You big son of you passed out.
He's got 1 concussion left. He's good.
so,
Not another teen
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
God, that was good.
yes. Okay. So then a tree falls in the road. They were around there, so I guess they did hear it.
This was
Uh,
Hurricane Andrew, by the way, which is a real hurricane that I actually remember.
1992.
92.
I remember it too. Yeah.
And it, no, you don't.
Get out of here with it.
Ding dong.
I remember because my grandfather lives in Florida, and I just remember that the devastation. At that point, he was in Fort Myers, which is like across the way from Miami, right? Like the
Oh,
other side
like-
in the Gulf.
yeah, all
right.
the way
So
down
there really wasn't a Miami connection.
No, not at all. That was in
Oh.
Orlando,
Oh.
and and I just remember the photos of the devastation. Like that Andrew is still like on the top, like of Category 5 storms. So like this is the only piece of factual information in this whole movie to me. Like it is the most believable factual part where it's just like, yes, homes were just ripped out of the ground.
Yeah, and actually, another like true fact about the hurricane that's crazy is it was actually possessed by the spirit of Imhotep.
All right, we'll get to that. Wait, we'll get to that.
That's
We'll get to that.
No, they
Okay.
show that in the first
No,
scene.
yeah, I know, but it's like okay, so they're driven off the road, and then the father's like,
Dad stalled on a rock, and he's like, "Go in this stranger's house."
it's like we're gonna instead of somehow trying to figure this out, we're gonna go into a wooden house where everybody's evacuated, and they're gonna do more than that. And he's like, I'm gonna try to save my truck, and then he's out there,
Yeah, why doesn't he just wait it out with them?
I don't know how safe those kids are gonna be in there.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he was like, yeah, it's a shitty house, so I got to get this truck back on the road.
It's like, yeah, fuck those kids.
But you're already in it, so
You got to cut your losses.
you got to do like Bill Paxton. You got to tether down to like a water main and just go for
get
it.
just ripped in half.
Yeah.
Use your belt.
The dad wasn't even like, play it safe, kids. Get away from the windows in case they bust in your face because of pressure changes.
Yeah. Also, it's like
Sorry, I said.
I'm not.
I know.
I'm
said
not from the
bust in your
east.
face.
I'm not from the east, and those parts of that has that kind of weather. Growing up in California, but I assume those places had, like storm cellars. And,
Okay.
and all the other things.
If they're
Yeah.
that far south, they might be more in soft.
Yeah,
land,
you
like
can't.
soft
You can't
earth,
have
so
that
You can't have.
because it'll just collapse around you with like the mud.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So then.
So, being from the East and like living through a couple of them, they're no joke. Like driving through one is insane.
Terrifying.
Yeah. There's at least 2 times I remember as an adult where I actually had to drive from work. Like I worked at a place that was essential, and then when the shift was off, they're like, "We don't have anywhere for you to go." So I braved it and went home. It was one of the most terrifying drives of my life. Right. So like, it is not to be messed with. I will say that cars. I've never seen cars like pushed like they are in this film, but I can tell you that it was a struggle to be on the road, and I should not have been on the road.
The problem with that, because like some of the worst weather I've driven in, it's like rain where you can't see the hood of your car.
Yes.
Which is terrifying to be on the highway.
Mhm.
That happened to me once, and I was like, probably should have just waited 10 minutes for it to let up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
bad weather.
That's how it's been with like blizzards for me before too. They you get whitewashed out,
Yeah.
like basically. So,
We're
but
talking to 2 Californians that are just very
Is it like
silent
driving
on weather.
in a car wash?
yes,
With soap all over your windows.
yes.
Minus the soap.
Now,
well,
you say
yeah, there's just brushes just beating you in the
Yeah.
face.
you say you're talking to 2 Californians, but I
Oh,
lived.
but you're NorCal.
No, but I lived in Florida.
He did.
Oh,
That's
right.
right.
Yeah.
And a
So there you
tornado touched down 5 miles from where I lived, and we were driving home from there. And just one of my dumb friends it was dumping rain, and my friend just thought he was being funny. He was like, "Oh, is it raining outside?" And like rolled the window down, and it was like someone just took a bucket of water and just like into the car because that car was soggy.
And
Wet and wild.
and with, yeah. So about that though is that, and I don't want to go into the like. There's some trivia for this that somebody pointed out, being like, actually, technically.
Oh yeah,
and I'm
the
like,
whole 600 miles per hour
right.
thing or whatever.
And I will say that like I'm not going to get technical, but I will say that like they treated this hurricane more like a tornado
Yeah,
than a
Really?
hurricane.
I
Yeah.
thought it was a tornado in the opening.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I've seen this movie before. The dad gets sucked away, and then you grow up to be
well, it's
Helen Hunt.
there
Yeah.
just wasn't enough,
Yeah.
there wasn't enough water in it. Like it was just very much dry wind for a lot of the scenes,
Mhm.
and even in this next scene. So
Dry wind.
the kids are in the house.
I need wet wind. Thank you.
Yeah. So the kids are in the house. The dad is back outside, like trying to use a winch system.
He has his own tow company, and he has a tow truck, and he's trying to use that tow truck to tow himself off of this
He's
rock.
competing with the finger company, but they're not. They're whatever. They're small game. He's big game.
Jesus.
But this rock isn't even that.
Toes are my life.
Is that this rock isn't even that big, which is
Yeah.
so funny. It's just like okay, just like
But
worry
also,
about it later. The
It
wind will
would've
blow
been
it off.
so much faster if he like got his like tire winch out or whatever and like raised it up like he was changing the tire.
But he
That
tried to
would've
go
done-
and winch it to a tree, but then the Dilophosaurus came out and it ate him.
But also, like, okay, let's take the most
It
practical.
took a second.
I know I can see the gears like clicking in your head as I was like watching you.
Isn't this guy insured? He has a tow truck company.
Well,
It
you know,
isn't about that. I think in this
Vicente-
moment it's about saving his children. He knows the house isn't going to make it because it pretty much doesn't.
I mean,
I
it
also-
did.
and they
say-
survived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did.
Explain that.
Yeah.
In the South, it's a different country.
No, it really is.
So a lot of your questions like that, it's just gonna be, yeah, it's just how it's done. That's literally just how
that
it's
truck
done.
is better than his children.
Most likely,
You're not wrong.
It's my truck.
Most likely, he spent all of his money to get that truck for this company so he could make something for his family, and there's no money left.
Those
over
kids
to
were
buy
conceived in
insurance.
that truck.
Basically.
So that's how he picked up.
It's
his
a
mom,
Ford,
literally.
not a Chevy.
This is
Rather
actually,
be coming than stroking.
If it was a Chevy, I'd let that thing get sucked up.
this is actually probably one of my favorite
I
scenes.
can't,
Okay,
I
and
can't
then-
let my Calvin and Hobbes pissing all over a Chevy decal in the back window to go to waste.
No, my balls on the back.
My truck nuts.
Jonathan just got blown over by the K-45.
So he gives up on the truck and he runs back in, not saying much about this film. My favorite scene of the whole movie.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, I went back and watched it like 2 times because I couldn't believe
It's
it.
so funny, which is really kind of sad.
Carly wasn't paying attention when it happened, and then I was like, "Oh my god!" And she was like, "What?" So I skipped back to it, and then we watched it again. I was like, "I can't believe it!"
Okay, so the water tower collapses, and at first you're like, "Oh no, like things are falling apart, they're breaking." And then the kids are looking out the window, and their dad's like, "I guess I'll go inside now that things are starting to like break and shit." And all of a sudden, the water tower's like, "Ba-doop, ba-doop, 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 ba-doop," and just flattens him.
Yeah,
like a
just
steamroller.
rolls over him.
Which like it doesn't even like knock him away. It's literally just like, which I was like,
Oh no, the Animaniacs!
yeah,
I just felt like it was a very Wile E. Coyote sort of
he
way to
could have
go.
survived.
You know?
He went to like the Prometheus school of running away from things.
Yeah.
that's a
like-
Simpsons
Runs
joke.
sideways.
He's like, just like, oh, it's coming at me. All right, just like,
Well,
It
it's
could've-
almost like he ran right. He was like, okay, it's going right to left, so I'll just go straight across its path, and I'll dodge it, I think.
I don't think he even knew it was coming.
how though?
He saw that tower collapse.
Yeah,
he
he
looked over
saw-
and was like, oh,
he,
God.
He saw it collapse. I don't think that the rolling is from the momentum of the collapse. I
Oh,
think
no,
it
it's
just
the
started
wind,
getting
yeah.
blown. So, like, I don't think he like had any no knowledge that it was still going to do that.
If that water tower was full, like that canister would have just crumpled the second it hit the ground. So I'm very surprised that it was like, okay.
yeah.
Like
Well, there's
they
a lot
probably
of
would have
logic
been better
questions
off
in this.
if like a bunch of like the debris from it like smacked him and blew him
What
away.
if it just like slit, like sliced him in half?
Ooh,
Nah, man, he had
real
to,
Final Destination.
he had to
Yeah.
he had to go out like Kevin Costner.
There's
in the
not
in the freaking Superman thing.
Speaking of sliced him in half and stuff like that, this is the best and most original kill of the whole film.
Yeah.
There's
No,
nothing.
There's
any-
one
there's
later that
technically
made me
only, like,
laugh
4
so hard,
kills.
and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Not even that. I like the one right before it. Yeah, so the kids are in the house, and then the house starts getting blown onto its side, and then 2 children survive, and the grown adult does not. So
Sadly.
we've got some, like, ooh, harsh background for children. What's going to happen to this guy? He's going to become a weatherman that hates hurricanes. What?
And you said Emotep, shut up.
Oh yeah, and then
Oh, yeah,
then
yeah.
the spirit of Imhotep is in the thing. It's like, what was this? Isn't that wild?
It's
Why?
like, also, it
it's like-
wasn't Emotep. It was the rhinoceros from James and the Giant Peach.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
we have
No,
Willie.
it's the Death Eater symbol.
Wi-
They were actually the Death Eaters.
No, that makes no sense. It's Willie and who? What's
Huh?
the kid's name?
Willie and Breeze,
Yeah, Breeze.
which is
Breeze.
hilarious.
Yeah.
That his name was Breeze.
I
Yeah.
mean, he probably got a lot of crap for that as a kid. So Willie and
Your
Breeze.
dad got kicked by a hurricane and he named you Breeze?
Fucking loser. You got a dead dad.
You killed your dad.
I just learned
You
the word iron.
killed your dad.
Game over, man.
I just learned the word irony. So it's like it makes it apparent that it's like
Bees.
only Willie sees this though. It's like so it's only in his head that he sees.
Yeah, it's
this.
weird.
Oh yeah, well it's
So
like
he's
it's those
got-
childlike things. It's the same thing for James and the Giant Peach. He probably really didn't see a rhino, but his sorry I had to burp. But his like child like wonder is just like, oh,
But-
it's like it's thundering, it's rolling towards me. It looks like a rhino.
I saw the skull and it genuinely made me for a second be like, is this a supernatural hurricane? And
Right?
I was
I
like,
just felt
really
like-
confused.
I just felt later his dad was gonna come
The
home
hurricane
Mufasa
steals
style.
them.
Remember me?
In the hurricane.
No, I thought he was just gonna show up like Chris Kattan in House on Haunted Hill and be like reach out and save him.
He shows up like the guy in the reception area in Beetlejuice, all flat. Like, hey kids,
Papers, please.
How am I doing?
Thanks,
I'm feeling a little flat.
Yeah.
Maitland's.
Cardio too.
Yes.
Got your paperwork? No, yeah. So then we Will grows up to be a
meteorologist, a hurricaneologist,
and he has a PhD.
A doctor.
He's a doctor.
He has a pretty huge driving vehicle.
He does.
Yeah.
There's a big
He's
old
got
car.
the Batmobile.
Yeah, he's got some sort of souped-up meteorologist vehicle that has, like, racer seats in it with harnesses.
No,
It
those
has...
are gamer seats.
It's federally
Yeah.
funded. It's
Well, did
federally
you-
funded by your taxes. Okay?
That's right.
Did you guys ever watch like Storm Chasers on like Discovery Channel? Or
No.
anything like
Yeah.
that?
No.
I was really into tornadoes when I was
Same.
little. So I was
Apparently.
like, really.
I loved tornadoes as a kid.
Those cars are real, the storm chasing
Yeah.
cars, and they have
are.
spikes that like dig into the ground and they drop themselves down so that the suction doesn't pull them up, so they can like sit through and record stuff. So when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, that's so cool!" And then it was never utilized, like
Yeah.
as cool as it could be.
It wasn't used for its purpose though in the movie.
Yeah,
He's like,
no, it was-
do you trust me? And he dropped it down, went all Speed Racer on it. And I was
Yeah.
all like,
No, and so there was one thing that I noticed that I was like, he takes 2 drones out and he flies them with a single controller
Mm-hmm.
into the storm to do some like weather stuff.
And that's never used again.
Yeah.
ever.
But
Well,
also,
he was setting his drones free. He was like, "You guys won't
Apparently.
live through this
Free.
storm."
like
Be
kamikaze
gone.
things. They're just like, yeah, you're not
But
coming back.
I'm just gonna be
You're not
honest with
coming
you. Like, it's hard to fly a single drone by itself
Without
let alone
windstorms.
2 with the same controller. Because I have the X-wing drone, and like as it turns around, you forget that like, oh, the controller's still pointed at me. So like I always would be like flying it around, and then it'd be facing me, and I'd be like, okay, so forward will be backwards, right? And then I turned it forward, and it, like flies towards me, and I get the propeller blades like in the eyeballs, and like I thought someone was gonna get killed by a drone in this movie. I was really
I would
hoping
assume
for
that
it.
he just had it pre-programmed to go to a specific spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he does kind of
thought-
set it to the side, but
I
like
thought-
it's just weird.
I thought they were gonna come back in just more like little micro tech spy sidekicks that are like flying around and sort of seem like spying for him or something like that.
I mean,
Well, not
we already got
those
supernatural
ones.
ghosts.
I know,
You know what I
supernatural
mean?
hurricane,
So,
ghost hurricane.
Also, was Apple a major sponsor? Because he's got an iPad here, he's got an iPad in the truck. She talks on FaceTime on an iPad. He's got an Apple Watch to do the barometric pressure later.
I was wondering that too because I was like, but they don't show any symbols.
No,
no.
but
And
it's definitely. I mean,
Oh,
it's definitely an
it's
Apple
definitely
Watch.
all
Yeah.
Apple products for sure.
It's
but,
weird.
yeah.
That's where the 40 or what was it like
$45
million
$45
budget went. This is the highest budget sci-fi channel movie I've ever watched.
real.
Exactly.
Oh, made by Category 5 Studios.
Oh, fuck
Yep.
you.
I'm not even joking. That's not a joke.
That's awful.
Yep.
And then who is he talking to this whole time? Who? I mean, he's
Okay,
He's
so
talking to like the people at the fucking
So
lab.
there's these people in Washington that are and studying things, and they're just talking hurricane gobbledygook.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, yeah, the barometric pressure of the wind storms, and I think it's going to be a Cat
And
5. And he's like, no, it's going to be like a tropical storm.
The
like,
one
it doesn't
lady's
matter.
like, but if you look at the rings,
if you count the rings, you can see how old the hurricane is.
she throws some dig at the guy that just gave some information and was like, but actually this. And the other guy on the other computer is like, fuck you for showing me up.
Yeah,
bitch."
exactly.
I just feel like those characters. I mean,
Shut up, woman.
yeah, like the way she was presented is like, I'm a plucky, ambitious woman here that's trying to stand her ground. I will be relevant later in the movie. That was it.
Yeah.
Well, then
Shut
you
up,
get-
woman. We already got one of those in this movie.
Yeah.
You get like one more scene with like the weather casting people, and it's literally them just being like, where'd he go? I don't know. We lost his signal. Okay.
No, you
And
get
then you-
3 because then after that, I guess he was right. It is a
Yeah.
Category 5.
Yeah.
So those are your only
Yeah.
scenes with them. Cool. Great.
Yeah, but wouldn't
They're
that
done.
wouldn't
Check
that
them off the list.
wouldn't that imply that if they didn't agree with his assessment, they didn't properly evacuate the areas that they needed, and now they're responsible
100%.
Yeah.
for thousands of deaths, and they just chalk it up to my arrogance.
So one of our
George
first
Bush
scenes-
doesn't care about black people.
Shit.
So
You're all 3 of you
Yeah,
are just
it's like-
like Myers right now.
It's like Category 5. Well, I guess that's lunch, guys. Let's go.
So then, one
Call
of
me
our
when it gets
first
to
scenes
6.
Is we've got this police guy. He's like
The sheriff, yeah.
the sheriff. You
Another
don't even,
Brit.
Yeah, you don't even like recognize that this scene.
He
is
just
gonna
looks
mean
like an
something.
Irish sheep farmer.
It's
Yeah,
so okay.
really.
The sheriff cracked me up because he's like
pig.
he's getting ready to like to like they're evacuating the town, and he's talking to his crew. And he's like, "All right, blah 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 blah. We're gonna evacuate this town. We're not gonna let this hurricane come through." And I was like, "What are you guys gonna do? Fucking shoot the hurricane?"
There's laws in this town. They're gonna respect it.
Based on the twist later, it actually kind of makes sense what he's doing.
Yes,
because like
yes.
he's making sure everyone gets out of the town because he's like, no, we've seen this stuff before. This is gonna get bad. And they're like, okay, cool. So everyone's evacuated except for the sheriffs. He's like, we're gonna keep the sheriffs here. They're going to watch over the town, and if anyone's straggling, they're gonna make sure they get their butts out. And then like we'll hunker down here and we'll be fine.
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense. It's just so funny the way they're talking
But
about it.
then you don't get back to the sheriff for another like 40 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, okay.
And that one guy's like, "I've been through some hurricanes in my life, and I never had to evacuate." And I just evacuate, please. And he's like, "Oh, okay." He just like leaves.
It's all like,
Bill, I'm gonna need you to be a good citizen and shut the fuck up.
but it's mostly like he wasn't like a passerby who said, "Do I have to evacuate?" He's fully packed on the road. He's committed. Are you going to turn back now?
Like the sheriff's gonna be like, just kidding, and he'll be like, good, I'll go home.
It's
and
like, wait, you
unpack."
got all your pigs in the back there? Yeah. You know what? Turn around.
Sheriff, is there any way I can convince you to just have me turn around right now?
Turn around.
Sure. There's no gridlock. There's no. Let me just. Just
Sheriff, I know I packed up, but I didn't pack up my tractor, so that's valid, right? Sure is.
I forgot to DVR Reba. I need to go back.
No, he's got all seasons on DVD.
Hell yeah.
So then,
Wouldn't you know it? This happened during the Country Music Awards. Goddamn Hurricane Tammy. I love that it's Hurricane Tammy.
Yeah, that's
Some of his white trash.
hey,
it's not
Tammy.
It's not Tammy Lynn though. Okay.
Do you know they actually have like an alphabet system of like they go like it'll be like A boy, B girl, C boy, and then like they flip it next time they go through the alphabet.
So
It's crazy.
what's
So fun.
interesting about this is that Tammy was a real tropical storm name in 2005. So it was like, you guys couldn't have picked something else like that isn't factually already one that we used?
Yeah.
Hurricane Slagathor.
That'd be amazing.
That would be so scary.
Slagathor.
I mean, when they get down to Z, they could have called it Zachary. You know something like
They've
that?
already been Zachary. Yeah.
They've been Zacharied.
Shit.
Yeah. So then
Yeah,
we switch.
You
got
to get to those hyphens, Tammy Lynn.
Tammy Lynn. Yeah.
We get to the gridlock that's like just outside of town on a 1-lane highway, and it's like everyone's stopped going forward.
Everyone's
really
driving the wrong
that was a
direction.
super gay gridlock. Just outside of town.
Well, like, so everyone is going the right direction. It's the semi-trucks full of cash that are going opposite, but then
Yes.
for some reason, everyone going out of town is taking up both lanes.
No, that's what I'm saying. Everyone's driving on
Okay,
the wrong side
there's
of
a
the
reason
road.
for that. Okay, so as the camera pans up towards the semis, there is one white pickup truck that is broken down and steam is coming out of it. Right,
Push
so
it off the road.
they're trying to go around it, but now the semis, the three cash semis, are coming the opposite way. So now both lanes, the people, it's just a complete
Oh, I see.
just clusterfuck.
And then we're
We're
introduced to our hero,
lady.
Leslie Bibb lookalike, Maggie Grace.
Right.
and her
Casey.
plucky Patrick
What?
Fitzpatrick.
God, her Irish friend that's like, no, I immigrated here when I was 5 years old.
I have complete.
And she's
cred.
like, I didn't know you were Irish.
I
Give me
worked-
back my coins.
It's like I worked with you for so many years, and I still don't know where you're from. I'm like, what kind of partnership is this?
God.
They're
So-
federal agents.
Yeah.
So,
She's like, let me drive, and immediately drives through a field, and he's like, someone's going to be pissed
She
that you
slams
destroyed their-"
into a car first
Yeah.
and pushes him out of the way, and then throws it in reverse and like doesn't hit the truck behind her. Like,
because
all
she's
cool.
good.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you just be like, excuse me, pull forward 5 feet, thank you.
Yeah, no, she just slams and is like,
I was just like,
fuck you, I'm federal.
Yeah, federal agents.
But it
move
also
out of the
seems
way.
like because she like from that distance, like she pushes a car forward and then backs up. she probably had enough to just back up.
No, I know. It was a real dick move.
Yeah.
It really was.
I mean, if she's trained to drive this thing, come on.
Yeah, so she plows through a tobacco field, right?
Oh, is it tobacco?
Because that's the joke. He goes, "You've ruined somebody's tobacco field." She goes, "Less cancer in the world."
Oh,
I was like, kind of neat.
I think I missed the opening of that joke, and I just heard her say that, and I was like, huh? Okay.
And then they pull up to the
From the emissions.
Yeah. They pull up to the federal building, and the guy that's like, "Hey, you're here. Where are the other two trucks?" And she's like, "They couldn't keep up with me."
And they're like, "God, you're hot."
We haven't had a woman in these buildings in ages.
Usually you sit shotgun, but tonight you are hot, baby. So they drive in and they unload the cash that is in the 3 semis. And then at this point,
our shredder's broken.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the cash is destined to be shredded, right?
Yeah.
Which I'm going to just right now call like the weirdest thing where it's like, okay, if it's destined to be shredded, that means that every single bill is accounted for when it comes to serial numbers, right?
Yeah.
So even if they steal this shit,
yeah, they could track the money.
Yeah.
It's like how
they're
much...
like, well, we're only using it at like gas stations and fast food.
Yeah. Like, first of all, it's like, how much in total are we talking here?
$600 million.
$600 million.
Right.
How are you going to launder, quote unquote, $600 million without being caught?
Yeah.
Well,
Gotta buy
I mean,
a lot
it's
of
gonna
gift cards, man.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of coins for the for the
You know
machines.
how you do it?
Yeah.
You know how you do it? You fund these movies.
Yeah.
In Bulgaria. No, but we're skipping over like probably one of the it's not even a funny line. I just like the line where she's like, "I hate old money." It's like, why? Oh, shy. Why do you hate old money? And she's like, "It's been in too many noses and in too many G strings." And it's just like, okay.
And that's the thing about her
Hey, Bill.
character.
Hey,
It's
Bill.
like she's Corbin Casey.
I fucking love that line.
You're doing it. That's all he wrote.
That's just them in the premiere. I fucking love that line, Bill.
It's like they make her like uber. I'm a manly woman. I can kick anybody's butt in this movie and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But it's almost like she's short of spitting on someone while chewing tobacco, and how she's the only American. She's like has to over American the Brits who are playing Southerners in this
Right.
movie. It just seems like everybody's like a cartoon of themselves.
I don't know who you are. And I don't know what you are.
Yeah, so she puts all the money in the vault, and then she FaceTimes with
like the
man,
weirdest
a surgeon general, I
iPad
guess.
Keno code.
Yeah.
It's just it's just Keno on an iPad.
3, 5.
It's the
13.
weirdest security code I've ever seen.
It's like a lot of like. Did they pick all the numbers with like a
By random.
lotto machine?
Yeah, that's what yeah.
They're like ball 36.
Yeah.
Ball 27.
He
Like
doesn't know what Keno.
I don't gamble. God, then that means there are people out there that also don't know what those are.
Yeah.
So you're welcome for me explaining it, cunts.
Wow.
So yeah, she then takes that same iPad that she used to like unlock the safe, and has a complete emotional expositionary dialogue with an iPad. Like
Yeah.
she
Well, I mean, she's
FaceTimes
calling
somebody.
someone
Well,
on
that's
the
what I
other side of
mean.
the iPad, but-
Yeah, but she has what seems to be a very important plot point for her is that she was kind of put on this assignment because she fucked up something that we don't really know what.
Of all places, Utah. She's talking about it like it's Afghanistan.
Well, you
Yeah.
also never really learn what she did.
Yeah, they never. It's
All she
like,
says is, "I made
isn't
a
she
choice."
flawed? And it's like, yeah, what'd she do?
She made.
Don't you like hurricanes? It's like, okay.
Well,
She messed up in Utah.
all
What'd
we
she
get is-
shoot a couple missionaries.
I made a
What? No, that was
like-
off the coast of India.
Because later on, someone's like, "So what's the deal?" And she's like, "I made a choice once that got someone killed."
I accidentally got them caught in the shredder.
Yeah. Like,
they were counting the
that's-
bills.
The Utah shredder, so she got sent to a different state. They're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
on that one."
No, because she was working for the ATF and then got moved over to this department.
Oh.
America's trickiest fun videos?
It's Chickadee Rock to Rock.
Alcohol, tobacco. and
Hey,
firearms.
it's Bob Saget here.
Oh,
We're ATF. We've got some great videos. Just roll the video.
It's time for Daddy Nut Shots.
Hey, I'm a dad, and I'm rolling around here, and oh God, my nuts!
It's now time for tonight's $10,000 winner. Baby throws up.
Dad, nut shot. The dad's like, hey, I'm in the audience. Hey,
Dog does something funny.
I was just gonna say,
Dog is not an
dog
audience.
eats its poop.
squirrels on skis. I hate my life.
Yeah. So then
yeah.
she's like, also, I need your permission. I want to change this code. I've got a weird feeling. And he's like, what? She's like, well, I need
I've
your
seen Hard
authorization
Rain.
to, like-
Just
like-
want the money.
And then he's like, okay. So she changes the password. And then meanwhile, two
There's
IT
Randy
people
Quaid.
show up. Like,
Which is like, okay, if you are trying to be subtle about people who are going to be bad, maybe not have one wear a cocktail dress to her 9-to-5 job.
No, yeah. It's not like,
and have one be British.
and then it's like, who are you guys? It's like, oh, we're IT support. You're fully tatted. You're British. And you just
Wow,
came from
which-
like...
no, I get
Wait,
tattoos.
hold on,
I'm fine.
hold on,
But his
because-
tattoos were crazy.
He had a
Okay,
neck
like,
tattoo.
Don't trust him.
Yes, okay. And I was going to ask, am I the only one that saw in this scene he had a neck tattoo and then it went away?
Does he really?
Yeah.
It,
It's
goes,
just-
it comes and goes.
He put some concealer on. He
It
forgot.
depends.
It was definitely showing over the buttoned up collar, right? There was like one like half
Yeah. When he first
circle,
shows up, it's like there.
right? And then when his shirt is unbuttoned and no tie and anything, it's gone, but there's a tattoo further down under
He
the
got
like
it
the,
halfway through
Yeah,
production.
Yeah.
No, it's just like oh, we're here from the IT department. We don't look like mercenaries are us.
Yeah.
Hackers, you know, it's like
They just don't fit the bill. Which, like, I would better understand it if it was like some nerdy chick
Yeah.
and some like kind of like just dumpy dude
It's like-
instead of like British rapper
Yeah,
that's friends
and
with
his whore girlfriend.
yeah.
It's like,
my name is Gemma.
hey, what are you guys here to do?
I'm Gemma.
Oh, yeah, we're here to hack the computers. All right. Come right on in.
Are you going to be showing your pussy later?
Yes, I will.
She's also one
'Cause
of
she
the
does.
worst actresses in this film. She's like, we need 3 hours to get the new code.
I honestly thought she didn't speak English. I was like, huh?
She's really bad in this film.
But
I don't know
also,
who she is, but
like,
she's bad.
Sasha.
Yeah.
Sorry, Melissa Bologna.
Baloney.
baloney.
I think she's South American. I think that's.
Is she?
yeah.
Is my joke about not speaking English mean now?
No,
It's more
it's not.
factual than it is.
I mean,
Oh, she's
Yeah,
from Greenwich,
she's-
Connecticut.
No, she's Peruvian.
Peru.
But she's
She's
born
Peruvian.
in Greenwich, Connecticut.
Well, you don't just when you're born somewhere, you're not just like I'm American. It takes a while.
I came out saying hella, so
Mel Gibson was born in New York, then he grew up in Australia.
Guys,
Yeah.
she studied abroad at the American Business School in Paris and then graduated from Pace University in New York with a degree in international marketing. Why is she acting?
Why? But also,
because she's hot.
Maybe she's marketing
She's
herself.
been in
You're
3
not wrong.
films.
Acts of Violence, the Year of Spectacular Man,
Okay.
and Hurricane Heist.
No, she has 26 acting credits, but only 3 that she's known for, is what it says.
Okay.
Yeah,
The Year of
probably need
Spectacular Men. Yeah.
Oh, it was directed by Leah Thompson.
Hell yeah.
Well, anyway,
My lady.
who's the guy that Corbin, the lady agent, says, "Hey, how you doing?" Was it Campos, Carl? I forget his name.
Yeah, his name's Compost.
Compost.
That's what his name is.
Is that the Shredder?
Conroy?
What do you mean? What guy?
The guy is Moreno.
Oh, yeah. he
Which
does
translates
this.
to brown, so he's the brown guy. So it's
Oh, no!
How unfortunate. So yeah, they just show up and they're like, "Oh, we're here to fix your shredder," and I'm like,
If
you
knew a
ordered
storm
it
was
on
coming,
a on a
wouldn't
hurricane.
you be like, hey, postpone, please?
Why were they Canadian?
Postpone, please.
it's like, hey guys, thanks for coming out. I know there's a hurricane going on. Oh no, we
Hey, don't you know about the storm coming in?
you know? And then Moreno's talking to
Non-essentials only.
to friggin' Corbin Casey here, and he's like kind of annoyed. He's like, "Hey, you're gonna bring your,
Yeah, you're good.
So it was like he's like, Are you gonna do this and that? And then I just felt that her call out of something. It's all like, oh, well, you like the cocktails, right? It's like you're at work and you just kind of brought out someone's possible drinking problem or something like that, or that we slept together.
Well, no, that's like this movie constantly does that, where it's like, here's something that suggests they have a background story. We won't tell you until Hurricane Heist 2.
We're gonna show you. We're gonna show them pissing in a parking structure.
That's bonding, bro.
So
That's
then
bonding.
we flash back to Will, and Will is like, I'm leaving town. I'll call my brother and make sure he left town.
But also, before they flashed over to that, the backup generator has also
goes
failed.
out, yeah.
Which I don't understand why in the film they need a backup generator when it seems like the power's doing just fine the whole film. Right?
Yeah.
So, yes, it escalated real quick. It was like, backup power's dead. Oh, my phone's dead. And I got no cell phone bars.
Yeah.
And she's like, I guess I'll go and find the guy who repairs it.
Yeah.
And you're
we
like, the
outsourced-
town's escalated. I mean, evacuated.
It's escalator.
Not to mention the fact that it's like they outsource it to him. I mean, like, how much security did he have to go through? And be
No,
like,
yeah,
this isn't
that's-
a pickup that he's fixing.
Yeah,
This
no,
is-
that's so funny. It's like this isn't like
I'm going to go down to Breeze and figure out what
yeah,
he's going on.
They would totally get like a federal contractor to come in, not like this guy lives in his garage. Like,
hey, Bree, can you come and fix this? Yeah, I'll be right there.
Hey, Breeze, we got another fixing situation here.
Yeah. So
good old Alabama.
Will is like, oh, I'll call Breeze. I'll make sure that he's getting out of town, even though we have an estranged relationship, because I said things that are bad.
No, he
about
was
him.
going to leave, and he
I know.
straight up turns around.
That's what I was just saying.
Well, you said call.
Yeah, he starts to call him, and then he's like, no,
I'll just
I
go
got to
see
turn
him.
around.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't even realize he was calling anything. I
Oh,
thought
yeah,
he was
he
on
started
his way
calling,
out
and then he was
was
like,
"Fuck
no.
it."
And so then he flips around. He goes to wake up his brother in his boxer shorts, which I was like, if he was sleeping in boxer shorts and with like that light of a wig. Sorry.
of a what?
Go on.
Wide of a
Wang.
leg.
Wang.
Well, that's also the point. Like, if you're
His
sitting
dick
in
would be
boxer
out.
shorts and you're like sitting like man spread, your balls would at least like be hanging.
You'd
and
have the
drooping.
classic satin bubble gum going
Yeah,
for
exactly. But so then he like throws something at his brother and he's like, "Hey, shithead, gobble snook!" Like he like this is that scene where they're like, "You look like a 2-pound turkey on Thanksgiving morning." Like they start throwing out things that are like, I don't know your lingo.
This is where they go dangerously into other famous bad movie territory, where they start playing catch football, like The Room and
Yeah.
Death Spa and everything else. Where you're like, "Oh God, no, no, please don't play football, please, please."
No,
But that's really the only way they can actually have you maneuver as an audience member
Well, that's
around
how
his
straight
place.
guys
Hey,
talk.
I'm about to have an emotional conversation with you, so
I
in
gotta
order to
look at
not
the
look like a
football.
homosexual, we're gonna throw this football.
you
Yeah.
saw the holiday party. We were out there throwing a football.
We
You're
couldn't.
gay as
Yeah,
fuck.
that, seriously, we could. It's like we couldn't conquer without a game between us. There's gotta be pool. No, man, no pool.
Break out the game.
We gotta
where
play
we
the ping pong.
tackle each other to the ground. and
No,
grind on each
Meanwhile,
other.
like Alex is over by the wine barrel.
No, yeah, they're throwing the football back and forth, like just like the oddest, like, hey, town's evacuated. Got some time for the old pigskin? It's just like, yeah, I got time. Which is another thing about this movie, like
There's
people
all the time in the
really
world.
take
Yeah.
their time. God damn.
There's no sense of urgency in the way that this movie is portraying itself as it's all gonna end. Hurry the hell up. They're like, hey, what's going on? I'm gonna get myself some bourbon and coffee. You want some?
Yeah, even the guy who's like warning everybody about like, oh, this is a Category 5 is like, yeah, so there's a storm, and
we might want to leave soon. But
yeah, I mean, we got time to board out the windows.
yeah, you want to board those up?
Yeah,
You got a
according
hammer and nail?
to my watch,
Apple Watch.
it says Casey gets here on page 32, so we got to kill some dialogue here for her to walk in.
And then it's like,
I mean, to be fair, I got to get like 25 steps in still.
it's like right then and there they shoehorn his whole little backstory of being a veteran, because all his awards and his military pictures happen to be on that specific wall where the brother catches the ball. And it's like, oh, okay, he's a veteran.
Right, but also his brother takes the time to be like, panties, you were sleeping with a woman. right? And he's
It's
like,
a-
her name is Jaguar. I was like, what the fuck?
I missed that part.
I was like,
But like he's focusing so much on like panties, where it's like, yeah, fucking panties. Like
I was
the
like,
guy
yeah,
is in like a bachelor pad kind of like
Yeah.
another situation where you're like, this looks way better than it should. Like his apartment, although it's dirty and
Yeah.
messy, you're still in this thing of being like, I would kill for that loft.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. He lives in
That's
his
a
garage.
New York
Yeah,
loft.
he lives in his, but it's fantastic.
It had those like windows, those
Yeah,
ones
yeah.
that like kind of diagonally
It
like
had
span
windows.
No,
Yeah,
but
no, I know what I'm talking about.
The
The ones
New
with like
York
with like
loft.
the glass
Yes.
and the panes.
that open out.
Really?
so you can see outside.
They
They weren't
look,
bars.
They look just like
They had no
Jeff
bars.
Goldblum's like loft in the fly.
In the fly,
Yeah.
yes.
That's
God
fantastic.
damn you.
So then,
Skinless Batman.
I really had you
Skinless
go.
monkey.
Casey shows up. The wind's really blowing, and she's like, "Hey, Breeze, come with me." And he's like, "Okay." And then he's like, "Will, you got this, right?" And he's like, "Sure." And then he shakes the ladder as if it didn't start raining violently and was already windy.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hop, stay safe." Like,
Yeah.
that's not safe at
Yeah,
all.
he's like,
And
did you
it's
just
like a
sucker me
shitty
into
lean
free
ladder.
labor?
Yeah, I guess I did. And then he's like, hey, by the way, if I don't see you in the next 5 years again, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Hey, if you
5
die in
years?
this storm,
I'm
bye.
like, do I have the keys to your loft? Will I close it?
But-
now that what?
But then also, like, the thing is that you have throwaway lines like this that should have been what was upstairs, being like, it's been 5 years. What the hell are you coming around here for? Instead, it's like, if I don't see you in another 5 years, bye.
Yeah. Yeah. And then this is kind of, I mean, I know it's already like set up that Will is going to be our other main protagonist, but it kind of sets up that like Breeze is going to be the main protagonist, because it's like, here he comes, he's coming with her, like, and like, oh,
The
yeah.
movie can't decide which one it wants to pair her with.
Yeah.
And by the end, it's like, you're both gonna fuck her.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, she was skiing those boys down that truck.
This is like,
well, we still got a lot of way to go. Got to kill some time.
I'm gonna butcher the name because it's in Spanish, but Eat Mama Tambien. You know, you've seen
Yeah.
that? Yeah, where the boys just
I've
like
never
mama.
seen it, but
to
Y
eat
tu
to
mamá
ma
también.
Yes, where they just plow that
Not
lady.
Jeffrey
wait,
Tambor.
wait,
okay?
everyone, say it.
Y tu mamá también.
How sexy is that?
God,
Alfonso Cuarón, and I just found out he won for a Golden Globe right now.
Nice.
you
for
and
his movie.
you
Nice.
and I are gonna
Roma.
live out that scene together.
Nah, I'm okay.
If you've seen
They
that
wake up
movie,
the next morning and they're just
and,
chunking it.
throw up. Yeah. No, but meanwhile, while they're there, in the literally 10 minutes that has happened, they have managed to overthrow the Fed.
In what looks like the sloppiest break-in I've ever seen.
Oh, it is so. They went in with like sleeping dart guns, and we're like, "Doo, doo, doo, doo,
Yeah,
doo,
which
doo."
is funny because it's like,
but
okay,
grenades as
you
well.
are going, well, flashbangs. It's a flashbang, so it's not going to hurt you. Just going to
All
blind
right.
you. But he,
Didn't know they did that to his butt.
no, so they, what
Flashbang?
Yeah.
drives me insane is they're
when you
going
go in
into
dry.
a heavily armored facility
Mhm.
with fucking dart guns?
Well, okay. The point being is that like one person on the crew works for the Treasury, so he knows all the people that they're about to attack, and he really seems like the leader doesn't want to actually kill anyone.
yeah,
right?
but you can't
But
like expect
witnesses?
Yeah, and you can't expect to go into a place with people who have fucking real guns
Right.
and be like, no, we're just gonna sleep dart him. It's
But
cool.
also, okay, so like to establish the scene, so a white van pulls up at the security gates, right? And like two guys are there, and they're like, "Hey, we got a call about like an IT issue," and they're like, "Sorry, man, we're on lockdown because of the storm. Like, this ain't happening." And I'm like, "Well, didn't two other people just get in? Like,
Yeah.
you were not on lockdown 5 minutes ago?
yeah,
right?
Well, they do say like your name's not on any list.
Oh, right.
And now we're on lockdown, so get away.
But also, like, so something that gets established later on is that the hackers have been, like, basically sabotaged their shredder a while ago so that they could get a call. They didn't take the time to put them on the list.
yeah.
They can hack into anything,
Yeah.
and they didn't take the
Yeah.
time to put them on
Yeah.
the list.
You
right?
can remote
You couldn't
hack
die
something.
hard that shit. Like
Yeah.
like something more covert. He literally is like, "Come on, man," right? And he's like, "No,
like-
you need to pull your van out of here." And they're like, "All right, fine." And then like, there's no way that the people in the back of this van could have gotten a draw on any of these people.
No, if those doors
Yeah.
would have opened, they would have been blown away.
Like, think about it. I mean, just for us, us when we go to the gates that we need to go into. They don't even believe us, and we're in full costume.
Yeah.
You know? And they're like, so what do you guys want? What do you think we want? We work here.
Who's in the back?
Yeah. How many of you are there? As many as there's IDs. And
Yeah.
we're scrutinized as being there.
But my problem is that, like, no, there's no... Yes, they are taken off guard because, for some reason, unexplained, the gate does lift up.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not even like we cut to the hackers and they're like, and enter. You know, like that would have been explained of why the gate goes up. But the guards are kind of caught off guard by that. And that's when two people roll out of the back, right? Have to go all the way around and actually start darting people. And you're like, no, you all are just dead.
Yeah, no, those
All
dudes would have
dead.
just been like, you would have like flinched and they just went, all right, crisis averted.
Also, it's
Right?
like, what are those darts? Like, do they have a drill in them or something like that? Because
They go
they're
through Kevlar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not only they're going through Kevlar and a ceramic breastplate that most of the people have for those kind of situations that are standard issue. I get it. Get them in the cheek, get them in the neck, get them even in the soft tissue. They go straight for the chest and then just go clack, clack, and they're like, I'm down. I'm like, that guy would have been like, okay, that was ridiculous.
One guy does get shot at like point blank, and I was just thinking about how bad that would hurt to get shot with like basically a needle at like point blank in the neck. That guy's dead. They killed someone.
At that point, you're like, yeah, you guys are dead. This was not going to work. You may have gotten one or two guys, but they would have been done.
But also, the gate opens. Why didn't they just fucking drive?
And then
in?
also, they set off the alarm.
yeah,
So we're on a full, like, they're like, we're being breached, right?
Yeah.
And then somehow they still get inside the building and get the draw on anybody inside?
they roll under the door closing, don't they? Like the door is like,
Well, one guy does, but then our
Yeah.
IT people, our IT people are like, open again,
yeah.
What's
and like it's all revealed. The Irish guy is actually on the bad guy's side, right?
Big
Not a big
twist.
and he's like, I was tired of seeing all the money being torn up. It's not anyone's gonna use it, so I want it.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then at the same time, is it Moreno?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is the main guy of the facility.
Yeah,
right?
he's the point of contact for the
Right.
whole facility.
And he's like, he tells the IT people, like, you stay here, and then they get the draw on him because they're like, look, dumbass, like, because he basically like locks them down in a bulletproof room, the three of them, and then the Irish guy's like, open a door, and he's like, it's bulletproof glass, asshole, like,
Yeah,
And they didn't even give you like a sense of suspense. Now he's got to work at the door, and then he'll get it. And like you mentioned in Die Hard, at least in Die Hard, it was that sense of suspense. They just couldn't just like
he
snap
couldn't
it open.
bring one of the
He's
guards
all
up,
like-
put a bullet, like a gun to his head, and been like, open the door. He's like, I'm sorry, I can't do
Yeah.
that. And then the IT being like, yeah, actually, you can.
no,
you
he
know?
straight up just goes, open sesame.
And then boom, I'm all like, way to go
But
with
then
the suspense.
In the same scene, he goes, all right, you got 2 hours to open sesame to like the safe.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, is that going to be a thing? And then it never is
And
again.
then it's like, we can do it in an hour. It was always like, she was always undercutting her partner, saying, that's going to need 3 hours. And then mumbo gumbo, tech talk. She's like, we can do that in 2.
Honey, it takes you like 8 minutes.
We're just
So-
paid by the hour, right?
You won't last more
You
than
2
2.
click chump.
So we flash over to Casey and
cuck.
Breeze showing up, and they're like, she's like, something's not right, and it's like, no shit, there's no guard outside.
Also, where'd all the dead bodies go? Well,
Oh, they
dead
dragged 'em.
Oh, did they drag them
Yeah,
away?
remember
Oh,
they put him inside the electric fence?
They got a
that-
whole cage.
Oh,
I don't
they
know
got a
why
holding-
there's an
they
electric
got a
fence
holding
in
cell.
there.
Yeah. And then, so she starts creeping in, and then people start shooting at her, and then Breeze comes, and he's like, get in the car. Like, this is really how all the action sequences are summed
which is
up. It's-
leads to one of my one of my favorite scenes in the movie where they're like, "Let's get out of here," and they peel out and they're leaving, and those things start coming up,
Pylons.
the
yeah, the
pylons, and
pylons.
he's just going, and they're like halfway up, and he's like, "Guess we just got to slam into him." It's just like,
Well, okay, so let's go back to something that we had mentioned as, remember how we were saying you can't see past your hood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only explanation I have.
no,
for,
but it's like
for
visibly,
but
it's
it is-
completely
yeah.
clear. They show
us.
They show a POV shot kind of
Yeah.
through the car,
Yeah.
and
Right.
you can
Yeah,
see
yeah.
the pylons coming up through the
Oh,
windshield.
you're not wrong. But it's the only way that I could justify this and then the car digging in at chase scene. later.
No, I think
because that seems to happen. We'll get there, but
Yeah.
like that seems to also be like you couldn't slow down.
I just think everyone was driving with their eyes closed. That's just what happened.
I just feel like in this movie, like any Rob Cohen movie, once a vehicle is put into drive, it's just gonna go until it either crashes.
The brake lines
or
have been
drive-
cut.
or it's like there's a one-way ticket on this. If you turn this car on, it's not stopping.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So
They crash. Casey makes a run for it because the town apparently is 3 blocks away.
Yeah.
And Breeze gets caught, and they're like, "Now fix our
Generator."
machine." Generator. Thank you. I was like, stall till I remember the word generator.
also they so they make 2 Maryland references in this, right? And one we mentioned that's where the meteorologist people are that he's talking to. The other one is this weird throwaway line, right? Where somebody goes, "You're going to be the richest punk to ever come out of Fells Point." And I'm like, I know exactly what Fells Point is. Fells Point is just the drinking area of Baltimore. And I'm like, nobody actually comes from there. It's just a side section of Baltimore that is the bars. So I'm very confused why this throwaway line in there. It has to be for like a nod to a writer or something, or something that
Probably.
nobody cares about.
Oh my God! I thought you said Maryland, like Marilyn Monroe, and you were making. I was like, yeah, I don't remember these references.
Yeah,
This wind's gonna blow your skirt up, and we're all gonna think, "Wow, what a cute pop culture reference." I was like, I missed that one. Maryland. Okay, got it. State.
Baltimore.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Fells Point is nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So she gets back to the town, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember if she went to the sheriff or if she gets
Also,
the other guy.
She goes
first.
to
Okay.
the town. She
Also,
goes
I
to
have
the
no
car
bearing
first.
of like one, how big this town is, other than this main street, and 2, how close the facility is to said main street.
Yeah, I would.
It's
I
a
would,
hop, skip, and a jump from
Yeah.
the facility.
yeah,
Apparently,
I would think that if you had a high security facility that housed almost that amount of money, it would be nowhere near a town.
Well, that's also the thing. Like the entire facility got hacked
Langley's
into, got
not.
broken into, all this shit while she drove to and from it. But then she runs from the facility to the town and like,
Yeah,
you
and then
can't
like
hear a snap,
nothing,
but a snap.
nothing happens in
Yeah.
between. They're like, "Oh man, at page 45, she gets to the town, so we really got some time to kill."
But this
She
then
Ubered it. and
begins
dropped off right there.
the obnoxious back and forth between the facility and everywhere else in the town.
Oh my god, yeah, all the little updates like, "Hey, by the way, this is happening here."
Yeah.
Last time on Hurricane Heist.
So she gets Will, and she's like, "There's trouble," and he's like, "Oh no." And
Okay.
Then he just show up like, get in. And
So,
I was like, let's get in.
yeah, he's like, "Get in my armored truck," because apparently when you drive, shit goes bad. And but it actually was his brother. He's a bad driver, which is kind of sad.
For a tow truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a tow truck.
business.
That's
That's how he makes his business, man. He goes out there, crashes the car.
Slams into you. I can tow you for
So
a price.
He's like, "Let's go to the sheriff," and she's like, "All right." And they go to the sheriff, and they're explaining stuff, and she's like, "They've got prisoners and hostages, and like we got to get out there. Like this is really bad." And he's like, "Of course, but I'm in on it too."
Okay, all right. This movie blew through the sheriff twist. Like,
Yeah.
like it. The like the movie itself was like, "There's a storm coming. I got to get out of town." So, because this is exactly what happens in Hard Rain, right?
Yeah.
Where Randy Quaid is the sheriff, but the twist for in that movie comes at the 3rd act at the end, where literally Randy Quaid is in that movie is pissed off that he got voted out of sheriff, and this like he still has to work through the rest of his term, right? And so when this moment happens and he has the option to either help Christian Slater take down the bad guys or join the bad guys, he's like, fuck it, and like turns on Christian Slater and is like, like we're all in. So like that's a good reveal. This is just like, yeah, I was in on it, and we got to get this movie going.
No, it was exactly because it's all like,
"I'm tired of seeing this money come in truckloads, and I can't have it. They're just gonna destroy it," which is everyone's argument. They're just gonna destroy
I
it.
hate when I go to the donut shop and the glass is blocking me from the donuts. I hate
It's no
it.
one's money. What is the thing they constantly say? It's no one's money.
It's no one's money. No one's
yeah,
gonna miss
it's like,
it.
It's
no
like,
one's money.
the way Jonathan said, it's like, you go in, you know any cops? Okay, well, you know the only cop that we were introduced from in that little backlot town, that University City Walk. You know, it's just like, oh, I'm just going. Oh, look at the church. It's gonna steeple, and you go in.
There it is.
And then you go in, and then he's like, okay, you just told me something pretty big. Let's go into my office to discuss this. And, you know, and that's when you build that tension of, like, something's off or something's weird.
Well, why didn't he take...
And then he just says, like, he's reaching, like, he's going to go get something he needs. Oh, well, I'm casually going to reach for my shotgun. Wait, I'm turning. Yeah, I was in on it.
Well, then he also...
like, please come with me as I set this trap.
Well, so he says, like, I'm in on it. And then he immediately pulls out a walkie-talkie and is like, I got the girl. And then he's like, and someone else is here. And they're like, only bring the girl, waste the guy. And he's like, okay.
Which is wild because they just went from don't kill anyone to, yeah, just kill this innocent civilian who just has nothing to do with
also
this.
In the way he greeted him. Is that you, Willie?
Yeah.
Wow, it's been years. Now I'm going to have to kill you in the next 10 minutes. Damn, I know you.
Okay, I was also confused as to, like, why reveal yourself? Let them come back with you.
Yeah. Be like, I'll do it. And then you get there and you do the thing from Indiana Jones and Crystal Skull where he's like, that's right. I was with them the whole time.
You're a triple agent.
No, you idiot. That's a double agent twice.
I just feel like he was the kind of guy that, like, you know, he was doing his life.
Jonesy.
And this was his first time that he was in some sort of conspiracy, but he couldn't hold on to it. And he just wanted to tell everybody.
I gotta tell something.
You know what? I'm in on it. I'm all like, bro, you're not supposed to
he's like,
say it.
He's giggling. He's like,
I know something you don't know, and I'm not gonna tell you.
Hey, I
But
got something
by
to
the
tell
way,
you.
listen.
I got something to tell you. It's so good, and I love alliteration. It's a Hurricane Heist.
and I'm in on it.
I've been waiting for that title so long.
What wouldn't it be just like crazy? Just think for like a minute, maybe. Like it'd be crazy if like, what if I was in on it, right? Like, what if I was? But like, it'd be cool if I wasn't, right?
Sheriff Jones. That's hard rain.
I'm in on it.
No, yeah, that's what you say. It's the same thing they said in Office Space. Isn't that the plot to Superman? Yeah,
Superman 3.
Yeah. So then, they shoot what's his butt in the arm, and he's like, ah, damn it.
They shoot him in the arm, and then he shoots a shotgun in the air.
Casey shoots the sheriff in the arm, and he's like, ah, damn it. And then they run out. They jump in the weathermobile. And the guy, basically, that's every time they go to the vehicle. So then the
Casey, activate the weather radar machine.
There's like bad brothers, and then there's the good brothers. So we're following the good brothers. That's Casey and Breeze. But then there's also bad brothers that like is supposed to kind of be like
they were
evil
brothers.
portion
Yeah,
of them.
it's bro on bro action.
So we
Which
get
is
younger brother.
very Die Hard,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. No, that whole scene. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'll tell
So
you
we
that.
get
I want blood.
Yeah.
we get younger brother, and he picks up the sheriff, and they're like, chase him, and they're doing this crazy chase, and then we get this, do you trust me? What? Do you trust me? I don't know. Trust me. Buckle my seatbelt. Yeah.
Again, just like, yeah, we really gotta. The car doesn't get hit until page 46, so really gotta pad this out here.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Do you trust me? Do you trust me? I hate that movie.
A
Do you
whole
trust me? Yeah.
new
Honestly, it should have been like, hey, hold on. End the story. We don't have time to discuss this.
Yeah.
Hey, got your seatbelt on? Good.
Yeah. It literally just had to be like,
there
put your
is.
seatbelt on. I'm going to lock this down, and they're going to hit us. They're going to spin out,
Okay.
but we'll be fine. But there is going to be impact.
real time here.
That's it.
You ready? You ready? Take the wheel. No, instead, put on my harness. Okay, put on your harness. All right, cool. Both harnesses are on. Yes.
Do you
All right,
trust
great.
me?
Do you trust me? What? Do you trust me? I guess. All right, here we go. Get ready.
Brace for impact.
Flips all the switches.
Yeah.
He has to stop, and then the car stops.
Yes.
And then
things come out.
like little spikes come from the bottom of his carriage, like 4 spikes into the ground, like right? And between all this, somehow the car chasing him did not see him come to a complete stop
They turned
and
the
then
corner.
put spikes on. Like how far back? Especially because he was like, how far back? And she's like, about 100 meters. That's not that far. when you're doing 50, 60 miles an hour.
That's about 300 feet or more.
Also, I'll get back to her distant judging because she's apparently the authority in how far things are in this entire movie, and it keeps coming up.
How far is it? She's like, probably like a quarter of a mile, but I don't know. I'm looking in the mirror.
But also, why is she using the metric system?
I saw Jurassic Park.
The
Must
actual,
go faster.
The original line in the script was she said about 100 yards, but then that Will was like, "Oi, blimey, what?" And she was like, "Oh, sorry, 100 meters." She's like, "All right, now I know how far they are."
I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, so the car hits
There's
him.
so many liters of water pouring down.
Blimey!
Oi, governor.
You know how many kilometers per hour they were going? So, yeah, the other car hits him and spins out, and it's like, woof. Also, like, every time the super armored vehicle gets hit, there is damage to it, to where it's like, what if a tree branch hit your car while you're, like, hunkered down?
There's
That's
like
not supposed to happen.
Well, and here's so the car gets hit. What side of the car does it get hit on?
Straight in the back, I thought.
no, it gets hit on the driver's side rear.
When they drive away, the light on the passenger side of the car is hanging down as if it had gotten hit.
Also, this vehicle has no taillights.
Yeah.
That ain't straight.
But then they take guns away from the
and the walkie-talkie so
and
they
the
can hear what's
walkie-talkie,
going on,
yes.
which I was like,
but
that's
not
a pretty
both
cool move.
walkie-talkies.
Well, so the other guy can keep it, so then they can respond to him instead of them being like, "Ksh, officer, where are you at?" And then they just get radio silence.
Well,
they're going to be like, oh, they're dead. So
What-
then with them keeping one, they can at least still listen. To where the other guy, they probably hit the vehicle and he was like, I don't know, my walkie's probably under the seat. I don't give a shit.
Would it not be smarter to like leave them in mystery as to what's going on instead
No,
of being
'cause then
like
they'd be
they
like-
hijacked us and
Yeah, I guess.
you know.
Well,
and then
but
also
now-
tie
yeah.
them up.
Yeah.
Well, no, the other dude has a fucking bone coming out of his
Oh, yeah.
arm. So
Right.
he's like,
Regardless, tie them up and keep them off the radio because people come and save them, and then they all six of them go and get them now. So like more people have now come to this situation instead of being like, we lost radio silence and go look for them, and they might have wasted time looking for them.
and then we get to, I believe the next scene is them pulling into that parking structure.
It is. They
And her
go
just
in
being
the-
like, I gotta
haven't
pee.
in 3 hours.
Yeah. And they take a leak, and she's like popping a squat, and he's like, oh, I gotta piss too. And he like pees behind a pillar.
This is not that scene.
Is it not yet?
You missed the entire pulling off down the radio
Oh.
tower.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
You missed everything.
Yeah,
Wow,
they gotta
I forgot
pull down-
other things happen in
They
this
gotta
movie.
pull down
So-
the tower, and they go full Jurassic Park.
So
with the toe.
so we go back to Breeze, and he's fixing the generator.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But then when somebody comes in, he like pretends not to fix the generator. Like he's like leaning against it, like
Well,
drinking.
So
What's up,
she
bro?
brought a bunch of parts out, and then he was trying to pick the lock of the door.
So he was trying to get out.
And
oh,
so
I thought he
then-
was fixing a generator.
No,
Which
so
is
he's
really
picking the
easy to
lock.
do in a federal building.
Yeah,
just
right.
pick a lock.
So then he
I got
hears
the
someone
Keno
coming,
codes.
so he like jumped out and was like, "Oh, I'll pretend to be drinking and not doing this because I don't give a shit."
Sure.
And then he's like, "I don't want to kill anyone, but I will kill you."
He's so not threatening.
Yeah, I know. He's so nonchalant about everything he does. He's like, it's like, all right, shit, do it. Like,
Yeah.
show me you're gonna do
I
something.
mean, it's like this
His-
guy isn't
his-
really known for his threatening roles because he played what's his name, Spock's father in the new Star Trek.
I didn't know this.
And then he even plays the priest in that prequel to The Exorcist. And he
Well-
doesn't really have much of a threatening kind of voice or even motivations.
Yeah.
He's just angry because his arm broke.
Also, kind of like, wait,
his arm didn't break.
we're talking
you're-
about the Irish guy.
You're talking about the sheriff?
I'm talking about the sheriff.
We're talking.
we're talking about
the
the Irish guy.
We're talking about the leader.
Are
Oh,
you
about
paying
his
attention?
main squeeze got killed.
Not yet.
Not
yet.
God,
Jesus.
spoiled that one.
Wow, man.
God. How hard did you just zone out? You do realize we're recording. Right?
Yes, I do.
So,
but this guy, the Irish guy, is a complete softie. But I think it's just because of classic character design, to where he has no hard edge on his body.
No,
It's
not
just
at all.
constant, like smooth. All of his eyes are smooth. Like everything about him is like an S curve or a C curve. Like he's a cartoon character
Until he puts on his
drawn to
mean
be-
guy duster on, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Nah, I'm a villain."
So we get a weird dialogue in which Will and Casey have a forced explanation about why the hurricanes are so bad nowadays because of all the pollution and the global warming. And I was like, whoa, well, there's another shoehorn.
What is this, birdemic? The birds are attacking because of the global warming and all the pollution.
The plants.
And then within that conversation, they figure out that the only way that they could be trying to get another code for the safe is if they had their own global satellite uplink to be able to do that, which the only way they could actually be doing that in this town that has been shut down is to have their own devices onto a already existing radio tower.
So which is so convenient that they're like, this town probably only has 3. It's like,
and also I have a device that detects when things are broadcasting from radio frequencies.
So this is when they already know the password isn't working.
Weather frequency machine.
They already know the original password didn't work, so they're trying to figure out the new one. They're they said it's going to take a couple hours, and so they are the numbers are starting to roll in to where they're like, we're getting it, and as they're
it seems like it's
closer
just
to
downloading.
The numbers, basically. And so as they're getting closer to the numbers, they're pulling this this radio tower down with a cable wire that.
Okay, there's a winch on his Batmobile.
Hold on. So first I was like, okay, we're about halfway through. I think they're going to get the money, and then we're going to start the road portion of this movie because it was so heavily featured in the trailer.
Oh, my
God.
God.
But he's doing the winch system, and he's got the cable wrapped around his body. This is inch gauge airline craft cable. He's got it wrapped around his body and hooked on, so in case he falls or gets pushed by the wind, he's sliced in two.
Yeah, no, he will be ripped in half.
Whereas, you're an idiot. Clip it to your belt loop, ding dong.
Yeah.
Worst case, it'll rip your pants off, and your butt cheeks will be out.
And I'm okay with that movie.
Also, though, here's the thing is, their plan to rip down this tower is, first she's like, can we just go up there and, disable the device? He's like, no, you got blown, the winds will blow you just straight off the tower, right? And I'm like, so then your plan is to go up that same tower and attach this winch,
which is another weird logical thing about this movie, where the wind is super powerful to anything but people.
This is the scene, and this is the scene where it proves it. So
it pushes. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
he climbs up. The wind seems like it's already about to blow this tower down. The bad guys roll up. The bad guys are like, "Hey, oh, here we come!" And then they all wreck their vehicles on accident. Somehow. They're all like, "Oh, I drove wrong."
But that's what I mean, is that he's already in the tower.
We're British. We don't understand these roadways.
Why not just cut some wires?
Yeah,
and be done with it.
Yeah,
you're already halfway up the tower,
man.
Huh? Just cut every single wire that you see anywhere around you and be done with it.
Yeah. No, it's so dumb.
We get evil guy and someone else is in the car with him. I think it's the young brother.
What do you mean evil guy?
The main evil guy.
Well, that's important because there's many evil guys.
Yes, but the evil guy is the evil guy. Not like I'm going to be like, and then
so
the different evil guy, the other evil guy.
The Hurricane Heist is the Hurricane Heist.
Yeah, or the younger brother is Will. Where the evil guy is the main evil guy.
I know,
He's
but
the plan.
Let's just say leader or something because
the evil leader guy.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, there we go.
See, there you go.
So the leader guy...
S-face.
Okay, so the leader guy, he rolls up with, I think, younger brother in his vehicle.
Yeah.
And then there's another vehicle with a random henchman who is also like, okay, I'm here.
Yes.
And then it's also got his girlfriend.
The leader's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Random black chick.
And it's so sad because it's the only person of color really in this film besides the guy that owns the bureau.
Yeah.
She has no speaking lines besides
she does, but it's we should kill him.
Yeah.
It was a makeout scene at the beginning when they met up in the beginning. Yeah.
So she does get shot as they're driving.
As if they went through a whole big tragedy and they finally met.
Yeah.
And
I've been waiting for you.
You drove really well.
Oh my God! When I was up in the tower earlier, it was so scary.
As Will is trying to hook the rope around this tower, Casey's just shooting back at the vehicles driving in. She actually shoots Jackie in the chest, I guess.
And just kills her.
Yeah, if that doesn't kill her, her driving into the gas station pump and
That's
blowing
right,
up
that's right.
does.
Yeah.
And then leadership guy is like, "Oh, Jackie, God, I'm gonna miss that hole." Okay, so let's kill these guys. Like, he does not care.
$600 million will fill any hole.
But the thing is, he's not evil like other movie like action stars were.
Yeah.
Like the guy from Passenger 57 is a great example,
Yeah.
right? Of a
dude's
guy
psychotic.
who literally, where basically it's like, I love you, but I'm going to shoot you in the gut right now because I need a body. You know, that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
right? There's not even like more money for us kind of thing. Like
No.
there's no emotion one way or the other with this guy.
He straight
doesn't-
up does not give a shit about like anyone dying.
But-
there's no emotion
No.
to anything.
Right, and not in the I don't give a shit like in a good villainous way.
No, it just like straight up like it wasn't written for me to care.
Yeah, it's like he's so indifferent
I
as
have
a
no
villain.
positive or negative thoughts on this. So, moving on.
yeah,
yeah, basically. So then this is where the one of the cooler deaths in the movie happened, where
So Will got blown off the
yes,
tower.
he got blown off the tower.
Right. And he went down, and then they kind of trade places where she's trying to figure out. They pulled the tower down,
Yes.
right?
So that's done.
So they stopped
right
the
before the
codes.
last code got its number, and they're
Right.
like, "What's the last code?" And he's like, "Integers and things. I think it's 33."
And so
Yeah.
and
Math.
so Casey has run out of bullets, and he goes, "Let's trade off. You try to get the winch, like the cable off of the winch, so we can get out of here, and I'll try to distract him."
Which she's like, "Pull out all the winch,
Yeah.
and that'll get all the rope done, or all the airline cable." Which I was like, "Not how that works."
Why not just unhook him? Or
Maybe
unhook
Oh, she tried
maybe
to
the cable
unhook
is
it,
like
but-
caught underneath the tower.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, she
Yeah.
tried to undo the hook, but it was like, a latch is bent. I don't know. And I don't know. It's,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, she does a safety pin. She does get the rope undone, but then we get some of our good scenes.
Oh yeah. Then finally got a good
You
kill.
just seemed eager.
Oh, I love it. A hubcap gets just flung through the air straight into a guy's chest, and he's like, "Ah!" and he's just dead. And it's rad.
So this thing is like figured out because they see a car get pushed by wind and a hubcap gets blown off, and you see it like it makes that sound.
Yeah,
effect.
yeah.
And then so he's like, "I got myself an idea."
Yeah.
But I find it really weird how these hubcaps are presented in the scene. Is it like the catch of the day because it's in a net or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
And then he just like, I don't know what, he has a tensile strength in his mouth of a gorilla just to go, I'm going to rip this and take these out, and I'm going to
In the South,
Good thing Mater's Route
Yeah.
66 gift shops here.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and then he just starts chugging them like, they're saucer plates, and they're like,
What I think is
ultimate frisbee for death here, and they get it right in the sternum. I'm like, okay.
What
I'm
I think
dead.
is so funny though is that like that is straight up just like a brutal kill. Like that's gonna stick with him for the rest of his life. Chucking one of those, like what if he just like he threw it and it's like, yeah, and it just like took some dude's head clean off like the top
well,
of his
should've.
skull.
it doesn't seem like he was even paying attention. He was just like throwing him to the wind.
He
Yeah.
was. He was.
I
But
know
then
it's
this
an
is-
expression, but he was actually just throwing him to
This
the
is
wind.
the super convenient wind too, because
Yeah.
it is moving cars, but the people are just like,
If I stick low to the ground, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
So it also, the fire that's going on in the gas station.
Oh, yeah.
The smoke does not move with the wind at all. It actually just goes straight up
oh,
because it's just
no.
effects.
And just to what Tyler's saying about the convenience of when the wind is appropriate for the plot device to not kill most humans, I would have to agree that when anybody's driving on a highway higher than 65 or something like that, when a pebble off the road just hits your windshield, you freak out because you think something's coming at you.
It sounds like,
But
and you're like,
So-
and you're looking around your windshield while driving, like, where is the crowd?
Final Destination 2?
and that's a little pebble hitting a windshield that can do that at that speed.
Yeah, he
Now,
should have thrown pebbles.
Try the hurricane, and there are particulates in the air. They will just kill you.
I just
That's a
ripped
word.
through you.
Jeez.
Wow. Welcome to Vicente's Science Corner. Oh, yes, there is parts per million in the atmosphere that'll just shred through you.
Oh, don't get me started
Were
with
you
the
in
last
that opening scene?
No, don't let me get started with how gravity is defied in the one of the last kills in the
Well,
tow
we
truck.
get to
Yeah,
the
we'll
we
get
get to
to
the
that
mall, right?
Yeah. Okay. So they.
God, I'm
leave-
really
okay.
juicing for this piss scene.
All right. Yeah, I know you are. I know you are.
Wait.
So
Have they? No. Yeah.
okay, so people are firing at them, and also that's another thing is that like the bullets are kind of making their mark too, and you're like, also with these kind of winds,
Yeah.
the bullets would be all over the place. Like it just it wouldn't make any sense. So after that, my question is, we go back to the facility again, and Breeze. Nobody's been watching Breeze this whole time.
No, he literally just like walked out of
Well,
the room.
So older brother of the evil corporation.
Mm-hmm.
He starts walking down the stairs, and the power finally cuts because they originally were going to turn on the backup generators just to like be sure that they're still on.
Yeah.
And it was like cool because the power fluxed originally, and they were like, get the backup generator started so it's at least going whenever the power does go. So the power actually shuts off, and then that's when Breeze is like,
This is just an electrical problem. Is this movie?
Yeah.
so that's
Better
when
electrician.
Breeze is like, okay, turn it on now, just because the guy was at like right then coming down the stairs, and so it was like, okay, cool, I don't have to deal with this anymore. And he goes back upstairs, and that's when Breeze breaks out.
Yeah, like, no, but why wasn't somebody just guarding him, making sure that
Yeah.
he got the job done, that he didn't try to sabotage it in some way? Like,
Listen.
nobody was guarding a man who was literally just out on his own.
It's impossible to unlock a locked door without a key.
Also,
Duh.
there's no cameras in that room,
Yeah.
and
There would be cameras up everyone's butthole that ever entered that building.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and apparently it becomes convenient when he somehow gets out of that room and tries to stage an escape for the
Right.
soldiers.
So
Which
he's
is-
got wire clippers.
Which is no, he has bolt
cutters.
cutters.
bolt cutters.
And
Does
what
not
drives
cut
me
the
insane,
bolt.
he doesn't cut the lock. He's like, I better start cutting through this chain link. Like, what
Clink,
the
clink,
fuck?
clink. Like even the other soldiers to be like, sir, I know you're a Marine, but you are dumb as hell. Let us do this right
And
now.
first off, he takes time. He cuts. He's like gets ready to cut and he's like, hold on. We got some. And he's like, we got 10 hostiles, couple hostages.
It's like, talk and cut, you dummy.
yeah, and it's like, but just
You're a
cut
Marine.
the lock or the chain that's holding
I
the
mean-
door closed.
I know you guys are a bunch of just money security guards, but
Yeah.
you should be well aware and well versed of the situation before I let you out.
I know you guys are glorified mall cops.
Also, I'm drunk, which I've been drunk and will be drunk for the remainder of the film.
So,
Hey, Paul Blart, how do I get you out of here?
and this is they turn on their electrified storage room.
Yeah,
Yep.
weird.
Awkward.
And he's like, and he falls on the ground.
That's
he probably peed his pants.
Oh,
I just remembered that.
And that's surprising because he could have died from cardiac arrest. His heart stopped and he's not coming back.
Yeah.
No, it shocked
I mean,
him back
they
to
didn't
life.
need him
Yeah.
anymore.
Oh, shocked him back to life. He brought him back. All right.
His performance was dead already. But
So
Well, then
the
so
moment
this
you've
is-
been waiting for.
Well,
the
bad
moment
guys-
Speaking of peeing in his
we've
pants.
been waiting for.
But the bad guys come back first, and they tell
Yes.
older brother his younger brother's dead, and he's like, "Your brother's dead. Sorry." And he's like, "He's dead." And he's like, "Yeah, okay."
And I lost my
move
girl,
on.
too.
Jeez.
But we
And
gotta-
then he- doesn't he?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that when he fucking shoots Moreno? Just like pop.
No,
All right, you
no,
guys cared
no,
about
not
that
yet.
guy.
No,
Oh
we're
no,
not
not
there
yet.
yet.
No,
Not there
Casey
yet.
was in the room for that.
Yeah, yeah.
Shit,
No,
man,
but,
this
I mean, that-
movie, everything feels like the same thing.
Well,
But
that's
it's
the
like-
problem when you flash between one location and like
Yeah, and
two
you just-
others.
And
And
it's
that-
literally taking place in like 3 rooms. Like,
Mhm.
And also, it's like that's the Die Hard scene. It's like, I want blood for my brother, and at least Han says, and you will. But this guy's like, I guess you get to
He
shoot
goes,
her.
he goes, he goes, I understand, but if we don't get the money, their deaths will be in vain. All right.
yeah,
I'm cool with that, Jack. Yeah, I wasn't that close to my brother.
So then we're at the mall.
Mm-hmm.
piss scene. They just like decide that they have all the time in the world to just take a leak, and a long leak at that. Like a genuine, like they stop, get out. She takes a piss midway through her pee. He's like, I got to pee too, and they're talking. And have they eaten the sandwiches yet?
No.
No, that's
So-
later.
Not yet.
so-
There is so much just like Whatever.
There
We
is
got time.
so
But
much forced bonding between characters when they're in the scene.
Taking the pea scene and the sandwich scene, both like as the same kind of thing,
And they didn't
right?
wash their hands.
Yeah, yeah. There's plenty of water going around.
No, they were out in the weather.
Is the thing is that Rob Cohen is quite possibly the only director in the world who is like, hey, people got to shit. People got to pee. People got to eat.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like and everybody, nobody ever answers those questions. I've seen a million movies, and ain't nobody doing that.
How will I know he entered the room if I do not watch him open the door and walk in?
I mean, did you see Force Awakens? They finally established that they have shitters.
It's like Rob Cohen, and the only time I see Toretto eat is when he's either drinking a Corona or the last, family cookout that they have at the end of Family. So you're gonna say grace?
No, so then they go to the mall after peeing, and
well, it's
they're gonna do like they talk on the walkie-talkies, and they're gonna do like a trade-off.
Will, who hasn't been in this town for 5 years at minimum, is like, hey, there's a sports store in here, and it's like, you don't know. Also, why is the mall unlocked?
No, it didn't. Sports Authority foreclosed years ago.
Like, the mall's totally unlocked. They're just walking through.
It was like a see and save.
Yeah.
It was like some nautical shop they go in.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
They
do.
cut the lock. They go into this nautical shop, and he's like, we used to do boats. It's pretty neat. So here's a harness. Put that on. Thanks. And then they set up this whole like hostage swap.
Such a smart thing that they set up that is like, what? How did you know this was going to play out well?
Where is he? Okay, all right. So basically, the plan here is Casey and Will are going to harness themselves to. What?
So there are other deputies that are in on it too.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, we forgot about that.
Cop came in and was like, "You had your plan. Now I've got my plan." Oh wait, no, he's not Irish.
No,
Wait, no.
Okay,
We completely missed
Hold on.
that one.
We need
This
to
is
hold
important.
on.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is important in the way that it's not important. That's how crazy this scene is. That the sheriff comes in with his deputies and literally is like,
Arm broken.
yeah, and is like, guess what? Plans changed. I'm taking over, right? And then proceeds to have some sort of monologue in which it seems like this was always the plan, but I don't know what the plan is. And then because it's almost like he was doing a twist when he revealed himself to Will and Casey, and then is like doing another twist, but it's not. He's just saying, "Remember when we hatched this plan in a barn?"
Yeah.
I remember. I was there. A bar.
Barn.
A bar.
I mean,
It's the South.
And
It
then,
can be
and,
either.
and then he even
I
says,
totally-
he even says, "You idiot! It was me in that bar." I was like, "Well, no, duh.
yeah, we know this.
It's rhetorical."
Are you
okay?
telling the deputies that that's what's going on?
It's exposition time?
Right? But there's no new reveal in this scene. This scene doesn't make any goddamn sense.
You mean you're
I
a
think
triple agent?
The original thing, I think the original thing was that the sheriff was supposed to be the only one in on it, but then he's like, I also got my deputies in, and we were originally going to break into this place, but then we overheard your plan.
Yeah.
And we were like, we'll ride your guys' wave and then just take over once.
Yeah,
we
but
feel like we
who's he
can."
telling this to?
To the Irish leader.
He knows this.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't know that he's about to be crossed by the sheriff.
Right,
Yeah,
but he's telling him of being like, and then we heard your plan, and he's like, yeah, I know, because we had a conversation at a bar.
No,
like,
he was at the bar and he overheard their plan and was like, hey, I'd like to get in on that. Meanwhile, him and his policeman already had a plan to rob this place during a hurricane.
I know that part.
Perfect storm.
Right? But why is he telling him as if he did not approach him at said bar?
Okay, he's explaining that he's crossing them.
Yeah, no,
originally
it's not.
was
He's not
just-
explaining like I overheard your conversation. He's explaining we had a plan to do this already,
Mm-hmm.
And then
we
I
heard
overheard
your
shit.
plan,
Yeah.
and we thought, you know what? We'll just join up with you, and then when it finally takes place, we'll just take it from you.
Right.
Is basically what he's explaining to him.
Which is crazy.
It's so
because
convoluted the way he explains it,
Because
though.
it's crazy because you think the principal Irish bad guy had the storm in mind, but it was actually the sheriff was like, it was my idea.
Well, they didn't have the storm. The other
storm's
guys didn't have the storm in
convenient.
mind at all. Just the sheriff was like, "Oh yeah, we could do it when the hurricane's rolling through. No one will be here."
So
Yeah,
he's truly
he is the mastermind.
the mastermind.
I
between-
guess.
And then the Irish
Hurricane
leader's like,
Heist.
I don't like this, and just shoots him in the face.
Yeah,
Clack,
right.
clack.
It's like,
Oh,
Yeah.
did
And
you
then
forget
all
everyone
the
had
other-
guns,
Yeah.
idiot? It's like,
all right. One of the main antagonists just popped off.
But
And
what's,
then-
what's also weird is that, like, the police don't seem to draw their guns after this. They're just like, oh, shit.
They're like, we're still getting paid.
They might get shot too,
Yeah.
but they're also all like, yeah.
That guy
we get
made us
money,
work
whatever.
during a hurricane.
Yeah.
Also, when he says, "Yeah, I'll give you," he gives him a certain amount, 20 million, and I'm just like, wait. Also, I just realized something. I don't know how many people are in on this.
Yeah, splitting that
how-
600 million.
So I did the math at first. It was 6, right? But then if you minus the people who have died already, which would be 2 at that point, right? But then add 6 cops.
So
it looked
10
like.
total.
All the deputies, yeah.
Right. Or maybe 4 cops. Maybe.
That was a row of deputies right there. That was a lot of deputies.
There was, right? But now that I'm
6 of
thinking
them.
about the cops, I only remember like 2 in that scene where the water rushes at them and 2 in the mall. So I think only 4.
But then, there's also that one at the end that drives.
Yeah.
No, that was just the rando bad guy that had no brother, nothing. He was just like kind of overweight.
No, that was a cop.
Was it?
That's a cop.
That
Yeah.
was the one that holds the shotgun, and he's like,
That
we
works
still
with
like
us.
money.
Okay, so 5.
Okay.
Let's say 5.
Okay.
So we're
But
talking
he
9
offered
total.
he offered them 20 mil each, right?
But I mean,
So
is that split?
That's 100
evenly?
mil
That's 100. Yeah.
for 5.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
so they still get their 6.
So they still get their
okay.
right. And at this point, because they're
Well, that's a downgrade.
looks like they're getting 20 each, the cops, and then each one of them at this point, I guess 100 mil,
Okay,
right? If there's 4 left. So yeah,
man.
okay.
Welcome
'Cause
to
there's
Jonathan's
leader,
math corner.
leader, brother, and 2 techs,
Uh-huh.
right? That's all that's really left,
Okay.
right? At
Yeah.
this point,
Yeah.
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 Because basically 2 cops go to the mall, right? And they bring Breeze with them. And because basically they
4 cops go to the mall.
Yeah, it's
sounds
four,
like
it's,
a math
it's,
question.
It's 4
Four cops go to the
at
mall, and 2 comes back.
Because you said 2, and I was like, wow.
a train leaving Gussup, Mississippi.
4:15.
Okay, no, 4 cops go to the mall. We're done with math for today. Anyway, back at the mall, they've developed a plan. They somehow know that a glass ceiling will shatter.
I don't
They
know.
su-
20
he,
minutes.
he actually is the hurricane whisperer. He's like, I know we're going to get sucked by the sky.
It's all like, this almost,
I've seen Imhotep, and he is pissed.
he's all like, this is so crazy. It might actually work. We might. And then he says, dum dum dum. I'm like, what's gonna happen?
So basically, he has an Apple Watch, and he's looking at the biometric pressure.
Barometric.
Thank you.
Biometric. Yeah, you're fat.
because it's an
BMI
Apple
is
Watch.
off the
That was the
roof.
joke, you dick.
Blood pressure.
Okay.
Up
Yeah, it wasn't. But he's looking at the barometric pressure, but I'm like, of what? Like, of outside?
Yeah.
Is the car doing this?
No,
but then
it's
how does he
just-
know that?
You actually get barometer readings on your phone.
Yeah, in the weather app.
Oh, I love. It's like
And-
how you can tell that like actual storms are coming.
Okay, so
if it
then
drops
if
fast.
he's getting these signals, can't he just send a signal through his watch to the people? They're
To
like,
drive the car?
we haven't heard from him. Oh, I guess not. We can't reach him. Did you try his Apple Watch?
Oh, if he
Right.
doesn't have signal, how is he getting that reading?
You get that from GPS.
No, Bluetooth.
You need
He's Bluetooth to his car.
His car doesn't have satellite.
No, he has the
communications.
3G watch, the one that you don't need the phone for.
But they don't have bars in their phone.
It still works as a watch, and it uses GPS signal.
No
for
one
the
said.
for
No one said
weather.
he didn't have bars on his phone. Only the people in the facility
No,
didn't have bars.
Why didn't he just use?
He
his
just
phone
thought it
to
would be
make a
more fun to
call?
be in an action
Because
movie.
they specifically said even if we call somebody, they're not going to come out until the storm's over. They
Yeah,
did
but
say
you
that.
Still would have warned someone.
They knew you were going to ask that question.
You still gotta warn people.
You would think so.
Like,
Yeah.
get the other weathermen vehicles out there.
So some
sky gives
stupid
a suck.
yeah, the sky sucks. It's just like and Casey and Will spines are just shattered.
Well, because they
are
give themselves
fucking dead.
Okay.
They go
So they're on the second floor of the mall. The atrium windows above them shatter, right? And they get sucked out the window, and so
Oh.
does the cops.
So it's not that the weather shatters the window. She gets a flare gun and shoots it, and it breaks the window,
Yeah,
and
she
then
said-
that causes pressure.
Yeah,
okay,
and there's
now
like,
it
now
makes
you're
sense.
armed.
Now I remember.
But
Which would be rad if she like shot it and then it sucked them up, and then as they got pulled up, they just got sliced in half by the glass that's falling.
But also, all right. So and Breeze is at the bottom floor with the cops, right? And
Ugh.
and he before this happens, Will is like,
Blue
Blue 42, like, and you're like,
yeah,
Omaha, red Omaha.
how does he
22.
know that that's gonna happen?
yeah. How
Is
did
he
they
just saying
plan
like
this?
dive?
Well, it's the
You know the
same-
football
It's a
play
flea
where you
kicker.
just like
Flea
dive to
kicker.
the ground and just suck?
Yeah.
It was
Flea
the
kicker
last.
right now.
It was the play that they were like going over when they were kids.
Yeah.
Which is obnoxious, and I was like, "This is going to come back," and it did. And it was stupid.
Suck
then-
42.
So
Blow
he,
49.
he doesn't get sucked.
No.
But
He
the
is-
cops are like, whoa! And that
He
one
could-
cop hits a steel girder and like flips out,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
awesome.
He is strong enough for
Like that guy in Titanic that falls from the top of
Yeah.
the boat down. And yeah, hits that thing like flips.
Yeah,
So
hit-
And
then-
then they get their spines shattered by the sheer like force of them just like.
okay,
But
so-
why give yourself that much slack?
Yeah,
It's first
they
of all,
literally could have been like, "We have enough slack to hover over the escalator."
They had, I mean,
is what they should have done.
they had
Yeah.
at least like 100 feet.
They
of
should have
rope.
just done
Oh,
enough
yeah.
slack that they just floated off the ground a little bit.
yeah, it's like
Just tether yourself right there. That's
Yeah.
it.
so. Assuming they give themselves less slack, what is the tether anchored to? To the foundational structure of this mall?
I would
If
think
it-
the railing on the on the
No,
second
they would
floor.
have just
no,
ripped that out.
Literally, it's like it's just a display of merchandise, and they
Yeah, you
anchor
can-
to it.
Well,
like,
that's what's sad is like, so it's basically anchored to the end of the spool, and the spools are just on like a dowel, like that is set into this like wooden rack. Because
Yeah.
you can even see in the background of the shots, like it's just a rack that they set into.
just pulls out of the wall.
yeah, so they shouldn't have lived.
But then they conveniently first they snap their backs and then just
like they
conveniently
climbed
fall
the
to the
rope.
ground.
I
Yep.
thought they climbed the rope down to the
no,
roof.
they straight up are just like set down like.
Yeah, and then
and then they just get off the roof, get back in the
No,
car.
the roof like fucking explodes.
That is true.
the roof is that scene in Jumanji where the water pushes the doors open.
Yes.
and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
they're somehow like on a
They're like
door frame.
they turn around, the roof is just fucking exploding, and they're like, tick tock, tick tock, run, and then they're like, there's like sheet metal flying by them, and they jump down and do this cool like,
They
like
swing
into
back
the windows,
into the,
yeah, underneath.
window.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And so then they start to drive away in
with
the
Breeze.
truck. No.
No, did he die?
Breeze just disappears.
Oh, he
and they're like,
died.
"Dang, where'd he go?" Oh, but then they both get rushed away by some rain.
Yeah,
yeah.
Wait
yeah,
a
yeah.
minute.
hard rain.
This is okay. This is the weird hard rain.
No.
this-
They hit the ground, and the other deputies are there,
Right.
and then they're like, they're gonna shoot at us, and that's when the water, like Jared said, just breaks
Oh, yeah.
everything.
Oh, a big huge wave
And
just
huge-
comes
and
through,
they
yeah.
happen to survive
Hey.
because they get like funneled through this container. Because if you in the other scene, like the whole container ship just flipped over, so they go through. Yeah, they go through this thing.
You're thinking of a different scene.
What are you talking about? This is the garden scene.
No, it's
in the
not.
mall.
Oh,
No, they still need to go eat peanut butter sandwiches together.
Yeah, they
They're
just
still
eating peanut butter sandwiches.
Yes.
Yeah, they leave.
Holy crap!
And this is where I get confused where Breeze went.
Yeah, where did Breeze go?
Because
He
he's
ran
not in the
off.
scene.
He ran off, and they were like, "Oh, we bet he'll go back to his shop, so let's go back there."
Yeah.
So
Okay.
they go back, and she's like, "Man, I'm starving." And he's like, "You like peanut butter jelly?" And she's like, "I do now."
Is this
this
literally
Jif?
Is this Jif or Skippy?
No, she says, "Is this Jif?" And he says, "Well, I'm a Skippy guy."
so it's
So pretty much
Skippy.
So it's Skippy.
So
and she's
not-
like, "I know this is Smucker's
Smucker's
brand,
brand.
trademark 2018 strawberry jam." It's just
Not only do they have a complete conversation about peanut butter, they then go on to teach the audience how to make a bomb like, quote, Timothy McVeigh.
yeah. She's like, "No, yeah, it's pretty easy. They teach it to you in the Fed."
They don't.
Right?
It's like, I'm pretty sure they don't teach you how to be a terrorist.
Also, not to mention
I've
the
seen
fact
Fight
it's like-
Club, and this is how you do it.
It's like, not to mention that, but it's like, why does he have also that many peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in there, and why are they
One
organized
for each day of the
for
week.
each day of the week if it's the same?
And that's going to be
sandwich?
so old. by
I think that's the
Friday.
joke. I think that's really the
That, okay,
Really?
that
Yeah.
that he's
Yeah.
a doctor and he can't even
Speaking
meal
of
prep
wet
for
wind.
himself, you know? And then it's like, yeah, I'll take Monday. Yeah, weirdo.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Because
Yeah,
they
I
were
love
trying to
Mondays.
force some sort of bond and relationship between one of the brothers with her.
I honest to God thought there was going to be a romantic relationship between the two of them.
Yeah.
And I'm glad this movie didn't do it.
Yeah.
Like, that's one thing this movie did well.
Yeah.
But like, no, they're just like, yeah, we got time. Let's
Yeah.
eat some sandwiches.
Yeah, and let's
So-
talk. And I mean, it even happened before. It was kind of forced with Breeze when she drove with him first. He's all like, some. Oh, well, I had 6 brothers and they lived and talked football. Well, I was a football star from this year to this year. And I
Yeah.
was
For
like,
2 years, by the way, he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I was the football star on high school from 1999 to 2001. Okay.
And then I took a little detour in Afghanistan, by the way.
So basically, at this point, they get on the radio again. Basically, their plan is, let's make a car bomb.
Yeah.
Right? Which I don't remember what they were planning to bomb at all.
They were just gonna like blow the Fed up.
Oh,
to get in.
Blow up the entrance to it, so then they couldn't even drive out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they're like getting fertilizer and everything else.
Right.
And then that big wave comes through. Which, by the way, I was planning my wedding while I was watching this movie as well, and this was one of the scenes where we were going through the guest list because I looked up and I was like, wait, what the fuck happened? Because everything was flooded.
Yeah.
So basically, she's like, they figure out where they are in this, greenhouse, like garden store, right? And then this is where the brother of the other brother who died by Will's hand comes, and he's got 2 more cops, I guess.
Yeah, something
right.
like that.
And they're all basically at gunpoint with each other.
Yeah.
And then Casey's just like, duck! And here comes like a giant wall of water.
Yeah.
Right? Washes everybody away, and everybody's separated at this point. Will somehow conveniently landed on top of his own vehicle.
And that's the part where I started watching the movie again, and I was like, why is the car underwater?
And
he like kisses the car and is like, thank God for you.
Yeah,
and
and
then
but then they
continues to
never use
sleep
it.
on
No,
top of it.
He thought he was like, oh, it's gonna survive. Yeah, oh yeah, my car survived.
Because it's established that it's like an airtight vehicle.
Right.
So it's like, climb inside and shut the windows and just wait it out now.
Yeah.
well, that water would have went right in. I don't think you can drain it after that.
Yeah.
There's water in it.
Well, I
yeah.
mean, if it's closed and there's only a minuscule amount of water.
Yeah, but
at
I
least
mean,
you
as
still
soon as
got
you open those
space.
doors, because it was like doors like a DeLorean.
Well, one of the windows,
like,
one of like the window things was
It was
open.
flappy.
So he could have just.
So then
Anyway.
something happens.
So and Casey is swept away, and she's on this like blow up mattress.
Yeah, which I'm trying to decide whether she's unconscious or really hurt with her eyes on, but she's still holding on.
I don't know,
I think
but
she's
the bad
unconscious.
guys find her floating and take her to the facility now, and they basically like, we're gonna shred Moreno if you don't give us the code.
Which I was like, oh my God, yes, this is going to be so cool. And then she's like, all right, I'll give you the code. And they're like, turn the shredder off. I was like, fuck.
Not to mention
thought
another
they
fact
should've-
about him. I got a kid, man. Oh, okay. That Moreno's a father.
Oh,
Good for
shit, he
you.
got a kid. Throw the kid in the shredder, too.
We'll find your kid and throw him in the shredder.
Yeah, and then she gives them the code.
She's
like, my iPad's been here the whole time, dumbass.
yeah.
And you're like, all right.
Okay.
Like, because it's another thing where you're like, the iPad's been there the whole time. You think that maybe they'll find it and then the suspense will happen because of that. No. It's just an extra piece of the puzzle which they still need her to open.
Which she had like the wherewithal beforehand to hide the iPad for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, that's what drives me nuts, is like, everyone has like this like sixth sense of like stuff that's about to happen in this movie. Like the sky sucking them up, the wave coming, her being like, someone's gonna knock this over and I need to hide this iPad in this shredded dollar bills. Like, it's so odd.
Because they've all seen hard rain before.
Yeah.
So at this point, the safe's open, and then they go inside the safe, and Moreno's standing at the door, and then main bad guy just plugs him like 3 shots to the chest.
Yeah.
And she's like, "What's that for?" He's like, "For pissing me off."
He finally does like a bad guy thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then it's like he's so far out of the scene. Not he didn't even get a decent close up of like, I got shot. I'm on the ground. Nope. He's dead.
Nope.
Pistol whips Casey, loads up the vehicles.
Yeah. They start driving.
So as this is happening, Will has picked up. Breeze has picked up Will, who's been like just stranded on his own car.
In a boat.
He's
I was like,
he's
what?
a
Okay, cool boat. Work.
doctor. He's a doctor, right?
Yeah.
And his best course to survival is to roll up like a ball on top of this thing and not figure out how he
Like
can get around.
like a wet dog.
Yeah, and not
Yeah.
even only that. It's not like he's not in like foreign terrain. This is where he's from.
Yeah.
That he could figure out, well, I guess if I go this way, I can float off and to the distance.
The whole town's covered in water.
Yeah, with that much water too, like that can sweep a car away. You don't want to go in that water at all.
Yeah.
It's
That's
very
true.
dangerous.
But so
I
they
agree then.
but the Fed isn't flooded. Weirdly
Yeah.
enough, the water is 10 feet high in one part of the town, but no water.
Once again, not sure where this facility is
Yeah.
in relation.
Yes.
So they jump in they start driving away. Everyone's like taken into the cars, and they're
So
or
this
they're-
is the semis have started they've loaded up. They loaded up 6 million that was like on pallets and pallets, like super quick, right? And see a goddamn forklift anywhere to be found.
I hope somebody was forklift certified for this.
And as this is happening, this is where they Will and Breeze are having a dialogue in the car on their way to.
I'm sorry for all the things.
No,
I
but I mean,
said.
even before that, it's like their whole little back and forth at his apartment again, which is not damaged. And he's all like, "Hey, put this on. Take your vitamins, and we're gonna need one of these." And it's like, "You have all those? I am a citizen of Alabama." Now that's where I'm all like, "Well, how do people of Alabama feel about this?" Yeah, hell yeah, that's true, or something like
That's
that.
exactly how they
Yep.
feel.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yell here.
Yeah, I wouldn't evacuate either.
He's all like, "Which one? Pick you." I was like, "Nah, I'll probably end up shooting myself." He should have been like, "You got any hubcaps though? I'm really good at those."
No, so they start driving, and they're in the middle of the eye of the hurricane. This was like their plan. Is like, we'll leave in the eye of the hurricane so we don't get fucking destroyed. But we'll leave when the eye is approaching the town instead of like leaving in the center of the eye of the hurricane, right?
Well, I think their plans were just a little skewed on their time because of everything that happened.
Because so then
Also,
they
how can you track where the eye is going to be? Either like, oh god, I guess we're going east.
yeah.
Well, as it goes further inland, it'll dissipate, and then like the dangerous wall won't.
Yeah,
be
they
a
say
thing.
that.
Right, but like if
Well,
their plan isn't to go north, they
Yeah.
probably have a problem.
Which they are not going north. Shows you at the end of the movie they're headed towards Florida, so they're going east.
Yeah.
So I love the fact though that the eye happens to be
40 miles deep.
40 miles deep, and also it has the road in dead center. It's not like you're the far edge of
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
or it's cut the road in half. It's like dead center.
Then they Mad Max the shit out of the end
Yeah.
of this movie. They
Well-
jump from a moving car.
Well, but before this happens, they do have this weird interaction, right? Where basically they open the safe, the Eye of the Storm's here, but also let's have a heart-to-heart, right? In which they finally reveal which child was which in the beginning, where he's like, I meant to be better as an older brother. I was like, oh, you were the older one. I could not figure out which one was which.
Yeah.
One of them had light hair and one of them had dark hair.
I pretty
Did
much
you
figured it
really
out.
not?
Yeah,
I
they
pretty much
don't
figured
look
it out.
anything alike.
But
Yeah.
light hair, dark hair doesn't mean anything to me. People's hair changes. I've
No,
Way to be
mine stayed black.
colorblind.
That's
No,
you
It
guys.
was
You
pretty
three
easy to
are
see which
yeah.
brother was which.
whatever. I mean,
Oh, I heard
the fact is that there should have been a dialogue about it,
Yeah, of
more
course.
than just being like light
Hey,
hair,
remember
dark hair.
remember when we were in Dad's car and I was sitting in the center in the car and I had the light hair and I was holding the kite. Oh yeah. That's because you're my younger brother. Is
Yeah.
that what you would have liked?
Anything really, being like I should have taken more care of you over the years. Is anything a throwaway line would have been better than what I got this late into the movie.
So
That's
then-
all I'm saying.
They're driving towards the trucks and they jump. One of them, Will, jumps from the hood of the truck that they're driving to the back of the semi, and he lands it like perfect.
Yeah.
He's now a
And then
professional
Breeze is
stuntman
like-
with the appropriate gloves. to
Okay,
grab.
this is ridiculous.
Breeze is like, I'll gun it to 70 and then climb out and then jump. And it's like, have you not heard of cruise
I was gonna say the
control?
same thing. Why didn't he just put it in cruise control? He jumps and fucking loses his legs.
Okay, yes. Okay,
His
so
feet should have snapped back. The moment it hit the
so
ground.
he drives, and you would think at least like get the truck closer before you like even start. It looks like he was like, yeah, I got a good 500 feet, and let me get out now. Like instead, you should get it as close as possible without like actually touching, so they don't feel anything up front, right? And then, like you said, cruise control. But let's say that it doesn't have cruise control, just for shits and giggles, right? You at least probably should crank it up almost to the point of almost hitting it, and then bust your ass out of the vehicle. He slow walks it, and then dives, and it almost looks like they CGI'd
Yeah.
like the jump
Him going
like,
farther.
further.
Yeah, the stuntman actually died. He actually just hit the road at 70
And then,
miles
like
per hour.
whatever body was airborne hit the ground.
right?
Yeah.
And then
but the only reason
it's like the skyscraper trailer where
Yeah,
the
yeah,
rock
yeah,
just
the
jumps
rock
and you're like, you're not gonna make it, buddy.
the only reason that they are not spotted is because the two people driving the truck are gonna fuck.
No, because the chick is all like, "Oh, we made it. You know what? I'm gonna spread my legs
She
right
straight
now."
up spreads her legs.
He's like sucking on her toes. Like,
Yes. So, yes, like she just spreads her legs and they're just like, oh, it's on, right? And so Breeze is being like dangled from the back of the truck where I'm like, at least your toes are scraped off now. Like he's just scraping his toes against
hanging
it.
on his
Steel-toes boots.
He's hanging on his brother's leg.
yeah.
He should have pulled out his leg or something.
Yeah.
They're
So they
dead.
get on the semi. They're like doing the middle scene of Matrix Revolution. And
The dude's just getting roadhead while you're driving.
well, yeah, because okay, they get up to the front of the cab, they jump onto the cab itself, making a very audible noise.
Yeah.
But these two in the cab, she is on his lap, Dick is inside. And that's the only explanation I have for why they did not hear them audibly just jump on top of that hood that's on the top of a semi truck. You know, they jump onto that, still are not heard enough to swing on both sides, like punch them out, and like I think there is shooting maybe involved.
Yeah, he got shot in the arm. He got shot in the arm.
That's right. And then Breeze gets in the driver's seat, and Will gets in the passenger seat, and then they make their way to the next truck, and
He's
then
leapfrogging towards the front.
right, and he gets off. Will gets off of that truck doing the same move. Right? Is that right?
I think.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then gets has a fight with the next truck.
Yeah.
The
And-
next truck is also having some of its own issues.
Okay, this is where Casey is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Casey is one of 3 people in this truck being held
She's
hostage.
fighting with Evil Brother.
Evil brother and one of the deputies.
Yes.
Yes.
Right? And then they're having their fight. Will comes in as that. So that fight is happening like in the back. And so now the truck is out of control while Will was on the top still.
Casey and Evil Brother are wrestling over a gun, and they accidentally shoot and kill the deputy.
Yeah.
Which then makes the truck out of control.
Will throws that guy's body out.
Right?
Yeah. It's just like, no
the truck
respect.
is heading towards a bunch of silos. Right?
Conveniently.
And they just like
Conveniently.
drift. They're just like, you can hear the nitrous like hitting like in like a Fast and Furious movie. Just
You
like,
ever played 18-wheeler, that arcade game?
yeah, where the control was so hard. Yeah, no, they just straight up just like, yeah, it's cool.
I wanted like a full Transformers scene. Optimus Prime just goes, "Oh, I need to roll out of this."
Bumblebee, I'm about to blow my load. The cash is coming out my asshole, B.
So yeah, they
Go on without me.
they get control of both cars and they drive up to the main bad guy, and they're like they sandwich him.
Pinballing him.
Yes, and he's like, oh shit. And then like the wall is just getting ever closer.
Yeah.
One of the truck's anus blows out. And all of the money just flies out.
I think I have incontinence.
But before that happens, though, how they deal with the older angry brother is that what's his name? Willie's driving, and then they're gonna time the move. They're like, "Now, Casey," and they hit a bump, and he gets thrown in the air. And this is where I'm all
they
like,
do a huge jump in
Yeah,
that truck.
yeah.
Like slow-mo Matrix thing.
that's where they go zero gravity. They detach from the Earth's atmosphere, and he's up there floating. She has, I'm gonna point my gun. Here he is. Boom! Shoots him. Guy drops. Opens the door. Throw him outside.
Gotta admit, that was pretty cool, but that way late in the game for something that cool.
Yeah, but they also only jumped like maybe a foot off the ground too, which is really funny because it was like, and there was like this like super cool angle, and it's like
This is another
off
time
the
where he
ground
went,
like a few inches.
this is another time where he was like, get ready!
It's gonna happen.
And she doesn't know what she's about to get ready for, but
Yeah.
she's ready. And yeah, so she fires him. Then the 2 trucks,
Sandwich,
the lead
like
guy,
a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Oh, that strawberry Smuckers. The lead bad guy is in his own truck alone, right? And they do another convoluted excuse for a football play.
Yeah.
And trying to translate it into real life. I've never seen this.
Like, hook and ladder.
Right? I'm not quite sure there's a football play out there that says run ahead of people.
Two
and then
semis
just get in their way.
crash into each other.
Don't ever stop the player. Just get in his way.
Yeah.
And so they slow down. They force his trailer into the wall, and it starts sucking in his money. And he's like, "My fucking money!"
Yeah, basically.
And then it eventually
he turns Southern now too.
It sucks him up too, and it's like, thank God he's done for.
No,
Yeah,
and then it fucking flips the trailer up, and he's like, "No, my money!" And then it lands on him.
Yeah.
He explodes, and then there's just like up into the hurricane.
And someone eating some juicy wet pasta.
Yep. And so now
They got to transfer trucks.
2 trucks are barreling down, but the hurricane is right on top of them. Breeze is in one, and Will is in the other. Breeze is
He's with the two bad,
with the techs,
with the fucking people.
yeah, right. I think they were still getting it on back there.
But the girl's like, "Oh, baby, I'm so sorry." You know, he bangs him up.
And Casey's with Will. And then Will's truck just conveniently decides to break down.
Yeah, it stops working.
Right? So Casey transfers over between trucks, then Will jumps over. Oh, wait, no. It's Breeze's
Breeze
truck.
jumps to Casey
So,
and Will's
my
truck.
mistake. So Breeze's truck breaks down. So Breeze jumps over first, and then the 2 techs,
Which he's like gonna try to help for some reason.
yeah, but
Yeah.
even if that's the case, like, they were way too far apart to
Yeah.
even begin to start helping. Like, it's almost as if Casey was just like, "Fuck them."
Oh, bro, I know your heart's in the right place. I'm gonna drive away.
As soon as Breeze got there, she was like, "Oh, so we're going?" And they don't even stand a chance. They
No,
get
they just
sucked
get
up
fucking
too.
sucked
But
up.
what's weird about this is, like, usually in an action movie, the main villain is usually the last guy to die, and he dies in a big bad fashion, right?
Yeah.
Unless it's something like Die Hard, but even then, that guy was like a surprise ending, and he was equally as rough and as the main secondary bad, right? These 2 are just techs. They're like the 2 techs on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that nobody gives a shit about.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't understand why they get the final kill of the movie.
I
like,
mean, I
after
hated
boning?
them more than I hated the bad leader.
Yeah, they
I
were
was
just
like, all right,
annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of
But
place.
yeah, so
They were
then-
really out of place.
They're driving away. They just survived it. They're like getting away from the eye, and she's like, "What do you say we take this money to Mexico?" And they're all like, "Oh." She's like, "No, but I'm just kidding."
no, because like Breeze is like, Mexico sounds pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Right?
And then she's like,
I mean, I haven't got my VA bill this month.
Like, no, I'm just kidding, you
Yeah.
degenerate.
"Yeah." She's like, "I'm kidding, you degenerates."
And jacks him off all the way to Pensacola. And scene.
The storm is just like done behind.
Yeah,
them.
the
Like,
storm's like,
we ended.
"Oh wait, we forgot. You see Emotep one more time."
He's all like, I feel like he said to Willie, like, "I have been, it's like, thank you for the sacrifice. I am satisfied."
Yeah, he's like, "Thank you for the blood."
You have satisfied my hunger for another year. I will be back with Tammy Lynn.
Oh,
So,
shit.
going around the room, would you recommend this?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Why did you even pick this?
Because I love weather movies.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you like The Day After Tomorrow?
Yeah.
That was just playing the
I
other
know.
day.
Yeah.
I just like
I hate that movie.
I like thinking about what I would have done in that situation.
Died.
Yeah, basically. And all of them, it's like, I'd be dead.
Had
Yeah.
sex in a semi.
Yeah.
Vicente.
Yeah, I'd recommend it for those half asleep moments where you're like, I'm watching this. Oh, I came back.
It's a hangover movie. That's what I was going to say.
It's like definitely something to play in the background to fill the silent void of like your lonely
You
day.
and your wife trying to plan your wedding.
Angry planning.
So, something I did want to start, if she's seen it, what did Carly think?
She did see it. She watched it with me.
Uh-huh.
She was just like, "What the hell? It just ended." I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And she's like, "And the storm's over?" It's like, "Yeah." And then that was it. And then, oh no! Then we went to bed. Yeah, that was it. It was like,
All right.
yeah, that
Thoroughly.
ruined our night.
Totally. And
Um,
it ended on that weird line, like, that's a red night sky or something like that.
Yeah, she's like, they teach you that in meteorologist school? It's like,
Doctor.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then they and then
Drive off.
Which is
Sequence
a
of graphics next.
farmer's thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Farmersonly.com.
Red at night, shepherd's delight. Red in the morning, shepherd's warning.
Oh, look at you,
Okay.
Mr. Midwest.
Mr. Missouri.
Missouri.
I would totally recommend this movie for it was cheesy fun. It's not as over the top as I want it to be something where it's like, oh yeah, it was great. But hangover movie for sure.
Yeah.
Something to put on. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
100% on Netflix.
For now, at least.
I know, they just, as soon as we try to get something like to watch, they're like, taking it off now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Jaw scale. What do we got?
2.
That's it. 2.5.
There's a Jaws 2.5.
Today I will
The
do
Lion
a
King
2.5.
2.5.
Baby
I'll do-
Jaws.
The Lion King 1.5.
It's
Jaws Jr.
It's Jaws 2 with the book companion.
Jaw ready for this? Jaws 2.5. Jaw ready for this?
Is Jaws 2 the one with SeaWorld?
No, that's 3.
Jaws 3. Definitely Jaws 3.
Jaws 2 is basically just more carnage.
It's just Jaws
and
again.
Roy Schneider again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jaws 2.
The Jawsening.
Jawsening.
Yeah, so that's how we felt about this film, but some people decided that it was worth so much more, and we asked those people to give me 5. The first one, it comes from Gideon Lockwood, March 2018.
So, Gideon Lockwood is the Gideon estate owner from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah.
He's the main old guy.
Not enough
Sorry.
dinosaurs.
Yeah.
5 stars.
I got killed with a pillow. 5 stars.
He broke my cane.
Where's my daughter?
I cloned her.
Harrison Ford.
So, titled The Hurricane Heist. My money! What a smart, fun action film that is perfect for all your friends.
Smart.
The drama between all the characters is truly mesmerizing, and you truly care about all the characters. The effects truly bring the storm to life and is believable. All the twists and turns that the characters take are unpredictable, too.
Truly unpredictable.
You never know who you can trust.
Truly.
Like the sheriff that you only see for 2 minutes. Can we trust him? I don't want to spoil anything, but it's sure to make your jaw drop.
Way to spoil it.
It's just like the sheriff, who's a good guy or should be, is going to do something shocking.
Because we know all cops are good guys.
Except in a weather movie.
And the villain, he's great. He truly knows his anger when the money is on the line. He's all edgy and cool and memorable. I can't wait to see this again with all my friends to show what a true masterpiece it is.
I would hate my
10
friend.
stars.
I think he just
This guy, at first, the first opening line, my money! I was like, this guy's like, fuck, I wasted all my money!
That's exactly what I thought. It's
Give me my money,
The next one, written by John Piuzza in July of 2018, titled A Great Movie. A great movie, and a must-watch for all. Saddest that they are writing negative review should please keep off.
I think is it sadist
I
or
think
saddest?
It's saddest. I think
Sadist?
saddest that they are writing negative review should please keep off. This man had a
online?
stroke.
This guy is from Bulgaria.
It's that movie. Get off. Get off what?
Get
computer? Get off the
No, they're telling me to
computer.
jerk off.
B, I think my matrix is messed up again. And the last one, Roberto Satu,
Robert Durst.
in April 2008, titled
Wait,
what?
did you say April 2008?
2018.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Stop calling me on the dates and
This
just go
went
with
back
it.
in time, though. We
Yes.
just finished 2018.
Titled Disappointment.
Oh.
Not worth to watch. I have spent 1.5 hours of my time that I will never get back. The movie seemed a B movie. So bad was the acting and the special effects. Very disappointment. 1 star.
Why say many word when you can say few?
I just like it because I at first thought it was the same guy that wrote the 10-star review. I was like, wait a second. And then I was like, oh, it's a different person, but I'm putting it on there anyway.
Right?
Disappointment.
So that does it for Hurricane Heist, right?
The Hurricane Heist.
I know. That's a weird thing, too. I thought that it was just called Hurricane Heist.
Yeah.
And then when the title came up, I was like, oh, it's the Hurricane Heist.
Not to be confused with the other Hurricane Heist.
No.
Which one's that?
Hard Rain.
Hard Rain, yeah.
That was just a flood.
Yeah.
During a big hard rainstorm. So yeah, that's accurate. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Hurricane Heist. If you are super into water, then you're going to want to join us for this Saturday, the 19th. We are changing to Saturdays. It's going to be Deep Blue Sea, Wet and Wild. Everybody's going to get a poncho, and anybody who pre-orders will get a water gun for you to participate in the spectacle that will be Deep Blue Sea. We're going to have water effects, lighting effects. It's going to be completely interactive. That will be $15. www.thefreedacinema.org/events/bombsawaylive. That's at the Frida Cinema in Santa Ana, California. Please join us. It's the movie interactively plus our show afterwards. Okay? Did I cover it?
Yeah,
Think
sounds
so?
good.
Yeah, right? So other than that, if you had a comment, question, or didn't like what we had to say about something like that, fuck off. I mean, just no,
have your own podcast,
which they can. Yeah. But no, seriously, write us on all of our social media at Bombs Away Show. That's Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Or if you have something a little more private to message us, you can write to us, contact@bombsawayshow.com. That's also how you can get a hold of us for special events or anything of that sort. Also, we have T-shirts on sale from all previous live events and a couple other episodes that we have done in the past, and we will keep creating them. They're all at tpublic.com. They're always having sales, usually 30% off, normally $20. They'll be $14 on those sale dates. Usually happens at least once a month, so you can grab a T-shirt from TeePublic by searching Bombs Away Show. That just about does it for us. Anybody got something to add? Something to plug?
This movie sucks.
Well, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Jarrett.
I'm Vicente.
I'm Tyler.
And
we're in the eye of the
your
storm.
soul is mine.
40 miles wide.
This has been a production of Big Bulb Entertainment, executive produced by Jonathan Young. For more media and information, visit us at www.bigbulbentertainment.com. Big Bulb, what's your bright idea?